Since moving to London, my passion for angling has grown more and more each year. But it goes without saying that every now and again it's nice to escape the city rush and enjoy angling in a more peaceful surrounding. Throughout this series, I'll be making my way to a variety of countries, visiting a whole host of venues. From canals and rivers to huge public lakes, I plan to explore them all. For want of a better term, I'm escaping London. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah!
Oh, and I'm in. Oh, coming in live and direct.
That was literally 5 minutes.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a good fish, that. That's an upper 30, I reckon. Sure. He's going to be swimming in a minute. It's massive. It's the big one. It's the big one.
How do you know it's the big one? How do you know it's the big one? You don't know.
It's the big one.
Hey!
Get in there!
Get it!
Come on! Come on! The first of my Euro trips was pretty spontaneous. Well, it actually wasn't planned at all. Not for me anyway. What I forget to mention is I still don't drive. And although lugging my gear around on the trains is doable, a chauffeur by the name of Henry Lennon sounded much more appealing. He'd planned himself a nice solo trip to France, targeting some big public lakes, and I gatecrashed the party and forced him to let me come. To save Henry the drive into central London and avoid being a total pain in his ass, we decided to meet up at the Nash offices, with the plan being to get a few hours sleep, then leave at the crack of dawn for an early crossing. I was just full of energy, couldn't sleep, so decided to prep all my bait and tackle instead. And with that, we were off. All in, the drive was only around 4 hours, so we hoped to arrive at the first venue by late morning. A quick pit stop for a Mackey's breakfast, 30 minutes kit for Henry, and before we knew it, we were already in Calais. We arrived at the first spot just before lunchtime, but all wasn't quite as planned. At least for Henry anyway.
Ooh, that is annoying. It's like linear, that spot.
So what's happened is, I'm actually quite happy because I wasn't supposed to be coming on this trip, and when I jumped in with Henry last minute, he told me that he was actually driving down here with the intention of fishing a specific spot where a big fish resided in this area around this time of year. So he was going to set up in this spot, and I was just going to have to try and find a good area around that stretch of canal. So we've pulled up here, and there's already someone fishing here. So we've got to go off and find somewhere else, which I'm happy about, because then it's a bit more of an adventure together. But sadly for Henry, you won't be catching that 50-pounder.
I've got to spend more time with you.
You just said you missed me when I was asleep, so make your mind up.
I didn't say I missed you. That's a bit extreme.
Just as we were about to drive off, I noticed a bivvy being packed down in the rearview mirror, so we drove over to double check that they were leaving. What we didn't expect was to see some fellow Brits.
It's a small world.
It looks like the guys from Baitworks had a similar idea to Henry. However, luck was on our side, and they did confirm that they were leaving. So we went for a wander down the stretch whilst they packed up. That's from here?
Stretch below.
Stretch below.
But the average size is bigger in here.
That's an absolute banger, mate.
Sick carp.
I remember seeing that and thinking that is a cheese.
Cheesington. And then there's a couple of coin there as well. Woohoo.
And with that, it was time to get fishing. The stretch itself is only a short one, and with decommissioned locks, the stock is now permanently held. Not only with a good stock of carp, but also ones breaking the 50-pound mark. Of course, Henry was fishing the lock side, whilst I slotted in slightly further down to the left. He wasted no time in finding some firm areas in and around the lock. With fresh water constantly passing from the stretch above, a top lock is often a good holding point for the carp, and it just so happens that the big un is regularly caught in this area. With a few spots found, rigs are on and rods were ready to go out. just nice to have a bit of grass to sit on, isn't it, for one? Not sitting on dirty concrete. It's nice, mate. Really nice.
Dirty London Park Lakes beats that, does it?
Well, the other day I was doing quick overnighters on a park lake, sleeping next to a bench. Now, got the lovely, fresh spring Belgian grass sitting on that, so makes a change, doesn't it? With a pretty similar tactic to Henry, I placed a rig down the far marginal shelf, then used a washing line to avoid my line cutting through the swim. The other 2 rods were lowered in the near margin and down the slightly deeper central track.
Pretty much.
Oh, hello, that looks lovely.
How many calories?
How many calories in that? I'd say 450. What's the verdict, Henry?
Wicks Lake.
He's miles away.
You
So we've had the rods out a couple of hours. The rain's been on and off. I have had a little wander while Henry was having a power nap. Placed a washing line out
Why are you sending
there.
me out like that?
We had a power nap. A well-deserved power nap for the long drive.
Yeah.
I wandered down to the stretch below, put the drone in the air, found some carp on that. I'm not going to fish for them today.
Were they big?
Nah, I reckon £15, 15, potentially a 20 amongst them, nothing massive. And yeah, we're just waiting for sun to set really. I reckon it's going to be night bites, often is on canals to be fair. But in the meantime, there's been a trip that I've been waiting to show you for a long time, where I went to Belgium. I believe it was just as the lockdown eased off, so 2020. And I managed to fluke out one of the biggest fish in the stretches. So
The biggest fish in the stretch.
The biggest fish in the stretch. So whilst me and Henry are waiting for bite time to come along, I'm going to take you back into that session in lockdown. Now this was actually my first ever fishing trip overseas, and I was invited at a carp show by a few lads, and I jumped at the opportunity. We had 4 nights ahead of us, and the plan was to do a few nights on a lake and then head off to the canals. Early on, it proved pretty tricky, although we did manage a few nice ones. We then finally made it to a lovely little canal. Clear, weedy, and of course, home to some big carp. Now out of respect for the locals, I kept the filming to a minimum, but between us, we caught plenty of carp over those few nights, including a few really special ones.
Mate, that's a big.
That's a monster, mate.
I can't get it in.
Yes! Mate, that's a seriously old carp, mate.
Stay there.
We'd heard rumours of a 40-pounder in the stretch below, so we baited against the lock in the deeper water and cast a rod each over the top. 10 minutes later, both rods had gone, and mine just happened to be that very big un. Sometimes your luck is just in. Get to the net! Get it! That's the big un! Get it! 41 pound.
8 ounces.
8. Oh my god.
The big one.
The big un, mate. Well, after the trip has been really difficult, and honestly I'm lost for words. Like, we found a canal, we got told there was a big un, and to say I'm holding it now is literally the last thing I expected. 41 pound of historical Belgian canal carp.
41 pounds.
Incredible fish. Let's get her back. And with that, it was time to pack up and head back home. Ever since then, I've wanted to return to Belgium. Between me and Henry, I'm just hoping we can make it another session to remember. On that note, the action was beginning to pick up on Henry's lock spot. Look at it all moving, mate. It's moving. Oh, look. It's moving at crosslock.
I've got to go.
Henry's got jacuzzi central over his rod. Well, slightly to the right. Look at it, mate, now there's loads. There's a lot of fish.
should we go-
Over you as well, over you, look.
Should we go right in the swim?
Well, I've just got in Henry's head and said I don't think he was fishing, considering he's not had a bite. He's wound it in to redo it. And he's dropped it in a snag. That's why it didn't go, mate. Dropped it straight in that mess. With the rod back out fresh, we enjoyed a lovely evening and hoped a carp would show up on dark. I did go for a little wander on the stretch below with my head torch, but other than a few small ones, it was pretty dead. And sadly, the night turned out to be a quiet one. Upon reeling in, we noticed all of our hook baits had been chewed off.
The hook's gone.
The hook's completely gone.
And there is a turtle over there. It could be the turtle, but it could also be muskrats. I know there's muskrats out here.
We both switched over to plastic hook baits and replaced all of the rods. Within half an hour, the bite we'd been waiting for finally came. Oh my god! What's that? That'll be a bite on the washing line. Where's Henry when I need him? Yeah, I'm in. No way. I'm in. I was literally just sitting in Henry's swim, eating my pasta, and I had a drop back and I thought, oh, nothing. And it was on the washing line and it started absolutely peeling. What? Yeah. Yes! Come on! Come on! With the fish safely in the retainer, I wanted to get the rod straight back out, just in case of another opportunity. But first, I had to quickly top up the bait mix. I was using Scopex squid boilies, whole tigers and the large seed mix, and this suited the fishing situation perfectly. Pooing out tigers in the sling, Henry.
Oh yeah.
Little bits of
Got the old slush.
little bits of oh, perfect, that'll go back out.
Should taste the talent in it.
Come on, behave. He's probably going to beat me up. Yeah, thought so. Come on. Do you reckon it's a 20?
Yeah. 20 pounder.
Up a double, scrape a 20. Lovely first fish from this little Belgian canal mission. Sadly, the rest of the day was spent hiding from the rain. Then into dark, Henry got a not so pleasant surprise. A heron!
I ain't going near that. Look at the size of it. Shine a torch on it.
No way.
Jeez.
3, 2, 1. See? Good morning.
It's not a good morning. It's a crap
It's
morning.
good morning on a bad morning. We've moved, well, we're on the move from weird little goby things eating our hook baits, so we weren't fishing the first night, to Henry having a rat chew his hook length in half, to constant
Catching a heron.
Henry had a heron bloody hell, look mate, I can't even speak, fly through his washing line, which he said, I'm not going near that thing. So I then
You were a brave man on that one.
I grabbed the heron at 1 AM in the morning and detangled it. I had then had 2 bream last night, kept getting the rods back out fresh, redid the others that weren't breamed out as well, just to make sure, and we woke up to a blank, and then just to top it all off, to make things better, I went to clean a bucket in the margin, and this is what happened. Mate, I come on here, yeah, to clean my bucket, which is now floating away. I got about 2 steps down, and literally went donk, and slid in. And honestly, I fell in backwards, yeah? Went all the way down, and then I was sliding down the shelf, and I thought, no. And I was like, Henry! And I was holding on to the bottom of this, yeah, like, crawling away. Before rushing off to the next venue and getting rods out, we stopped off at the stretch below where I'd seen those smaller carp, and we baited a couple of areas to give ourselves an option to come back in the next few days. We then scanned 3 days worth of mackies and then went to check out another canal. Once again, this was just a pre-baiting trip. Although there's always a chance of turning up and finding them, being able to give them bait and return a few days later gives you a massive advantage, especially on stretches where the clarity is poor and finding the fish can be tricky. On this stretch, we decided to go out in the boat to give ourselves the best chance of finding the right spot. Using the deeper, we could see the bottom was pretty uniform, so we'd almost be making a spot with the bait. At the end of the stretch, there was a turning bay with a reed line that looked the perfect holding area. Henry took the right side and I took the left. See, now I'm not going to be as bold and as Henry. I'm going to put out, look at that, you're not going to get any better than that, a mussel with a bloodworm hanging out of it.
Whoa, that is
That's
good
it,
stuff.
that's all I'm putting in on the spot.
Go on.
And that 50 pounder,
I don't think there's 50s in this stretch, but
just go along with it.
okay,
Mate.
yeah.
50 pounder.
Loves mussels and bloodworm.
Yeah, that's
together.
all it'll eat, so it's never been caught, that's the point. And that's all I'm going to put out. And I'm going to put out a hook with a single grain of hemp on the hair. Mate, that bloodworm on it is carpy as hell. That's me done, mate. Right, let's go back to the van.
Let him out. Proper carpfish.
If I'm honest, we were pretty disappointed in the weather throughout this trip, but all we could do is make the most of the time we had. After all, no matter how cold and miserable it was, the carp were awake and at some point had to feed. So we've just left the spot where we went out on the boat. We've come to another bit of canal. Looks absolutely mega. Walked 30 metres up from the van and we've seen one in the shallow margins. This is much clearer. I'm loving it. This is much better, mate. And you've had a couple of 30s out of here, you say?
I've had 2 or 3 30s, I think, and the big one, or one of the biggest I know in the stretch I've had as well. But
Not messing about.
No, you know how we roll. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you mean, yeah?
De se pencher, de faire passer ses mains.
We had a good look around and this time I had first pick. I decided to take the left side where we'd seen that carp close in. With a nice shallow bend just before the bridge, I could almost hand place a trap in the edge. Henry fished slightly further down in the deeper water, a spot that he'd actually caught carp from before. I don't know how, while I've been gone, my rod's not gone off.
Why?
I just walked over there and that one that I washing lined, that exact same fish that we saw when we first got out the van, was tilted over on the spot and I can't see any bait. And then I thought, oh my god, do I go back to Henry? And I thought, nah, that's bad luck, let me keep going. And I thought I'd come back with you having it in the net, mate. It lifted up, literally went like that, it was like moving its mouth where it had been feeding, and then I think it like saw my shadow.
Whoa.
And it's drifted off and I thought that's going to come back. I kept walking.
Mugged you off, has it?
Properly mugged me, clearly. With nothing to do other than wait, we cooked up some dinner and sat back listening to the amusing chants of the drunk passers-by.
Pune muzică.
În noaptea niciunul nu doarme. Să-l suni pe Mihai. Da.
That'll be a bite. Absolute screamer. Don't know what time it is. Hopefully it's a big one. That's a proper canal carp, that is. Come on. Come on. Buzz in. Come on. Look at the net. Yes. Get in. That'll fucking do it. We needed that. We really needed that. Thank you, thank you.
Bonjour.
C'est une carpe ça.
Bonjour.
Ouais, mais vous l'avez rapporté de la maison, je suis désolée ça.
State of that one. Well, not as prolific as we'd hoped for on this canal. We're not having the best of luck really, me and Henry, especially considering these are venues that he's caught a lot of carp from on previous sessions. But it is still cold, we're a week behind good proper spring weather. I'm just glad that the one bite I did have was a really nice one. Upper 20, can't be far off £30. It came on the middle rod, the one just in deeper water down off that shallow ground. And it was an absolute battle. Buzzing. Next venue, Henry.
Let's do
We're
it.
going to go back to that venue where we went out in the boat and baited. Hopefully, Henry's turn for a big one.
Yeah. Well done, mate. Lovely carp.
Cheers, bro. We then headed back to the spot that we'd baited out in the boat, with the hopes that the carp were there waiting for us. It's the first time I've used one of these little Nash boats. Proper nifty little piece of kit. I'm going first, putting one rod just next to that grebe's nest, and then Henry's going to go out after. Henry's so carpy, isn't he? Look at him. You're not going to believe it. I've just dropped that rod out and I said to Henry, I'm not catching. I've dropped it by a grebe's neck.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? You said
Yeah,
there's no chance.
There's no chance of catching. He's doing his second rod and beep beep, my rod tip's hooped over and I was literally looking out thinking a grebe's gone through me or something. We're in.
How does it feel?
Feels little, to be fair, mate.
Yeah,
Little mirror.
common. Common, wasn't it?
I think it's a little fully scaled by looks of it. Well, that's a bloody good sign, mate.
That's a
I've dropped
fantastic
that
sign.
3 minutes ago. Little mirror.
Mirror.
Cool one.
Right, let me go get the net for you.
Yeah.
You're right there.
Look at that's a funny looking carp, isn't it?
Yes!
Mate, the pre-baiting paid off. I reckon big uns tonight on that.
You feeling it, yeah?
Yeah.
Mega one. What a weird carp.
That's definitely like a 2-year-old spawned on natural fish out of here, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if they stock them here or not. I
that
don't
might be
think so. So I think that is a spawned on one.
So there's a mirror like that, but £40 in it.
Yeah, they've got some nice scales
Look
on
at the
him.
shape of it, mate. That's a funny little carp, isn't it? I was worried it was a tench when it came up in there. I was like, no, please, I have to give it the big one.
That's probably the first time it's been caught.
Unknown, uncaught.
NBC, never been caught.
NBC. Mad shape. Bite. Probably a bream, innit?
That's a bream if I've
That's a bream if I've ever seen one before. Thankfully, the snotty bream fell off. I then noticed some fizzing down to my left, so with a third rod at the ready, I flicked a few scoops of bait out and then cast a trap in the mouth of the lock.
Spot on.
What's that? That's my lock rod.
Absolute orange peeler. Where is it?
Mate, I was not expecting that.
Me neither, not that rod.
Never right off a lock. Put a rod just here, and it's just peeled off, and weirdly it's ran into the lock. And Henry said it's gone down the waterfall.
I thought it'd gone down that waterfall there.
Mate, if this is a 20-pounder, I'll be baffled.
It's coming up. Come on, please be a 40. They're about here, aren't they?
Can't believe it. Well, I can't believe it. They love locks. They don't say lock. Come on, big cheese. It's massive. It's the big one. It's the big one.
How do you know it's the big one? How do you know it's the big one? You don't know.
Mate, it's the big one.
You don't even know what the big one looks
That's a big
like.
carp, mate.
You don't even know what the
I've
big
been
one
told
looks
there's a
like.
40 that's due out, and that's fucking huge, mate. No. It lock trying to do me under here, lock.
Yeah. Careful, mate.
Oh, I can't feel my arm.
Oh.
God, please don't come off. Please.
Oh. Hey!
Get in there!
Go on! My guy.
Yes! I don't know if it is the big one, I got excited.
Yeah.
But it's
I was
definitely.
just saying, you've never seen the big one, but it is
No,
a big
but I
carp.
just got told there's a 40
That's a
pound
big
mirror.
carp, bro.
That's £40. That's a 40-pounder. Yeah.
It's going to be close, isn't he?
Yeah, it's up a 30, 40 pound. It's not big, mate. It's not as big as I thought. It's a hollow carp.
Yeah,
is it?
fair enough. 35 and a half, which is bang on what yours said, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mate, that's a hollow fish.
Slip it back. I ain't taking photos of that.
How big would you say that is looking
I'd
at?
have said that was a 37, 38.
37, 38.
That looks bigger than that 37 I had from England the other week.
It's mad.
I've got some carp cables.
Band-aid.
Yeah.
I've got carp can as well.
Alright, it's not competition.
I've got more. I've got a 100 mil pot. Yeah. That's what we came here for. It's not quite as big as I thought it was. I thought it was a 40-pounder when it rolled. It looked absolutely massive. But it is my second biggest carp from Belgium. And a proper canal carp. I really love canal fishing. See you later, mate.
Merci, au revoir.
Let's slip it back, get some pictures. You never know. There's a fish 10 pound bigger than this in this stretch, so when your luck's in, just never know. Once again, the rain moved in, and all we could do was sit back and keep our fingers crossed for a prolific night. I actually, this is probably the most unlucky you've ever been.
I've never had a session like this. Straight up. I don't know what's going on.
As the sun rose, we were both surprised we hadn't caught any more from the baited area. Despite my optimism, the bay hadn't produced a single bite through the night. We were actually discussing packing away when Henry's rod let off a single bleep. If I'm honest, we thought it was a bream for the majority of the fight. Then out of the blue, up surfaces this mega long common, totally unaware it had been hooked.
Yes! Oh, I've needed that so badly. You have no idea.
Oh man.
Yes. Oh my god.
Bro.
That has taken far too long. Oh my god.
We were literally talking about leaving in like an hour and a half.
Oh, it feels good to have caught one. I've spent the past few days watching Jacob haul really nice carp, and I felt a little bit left out. So I'm very, very thankful when this one dropped back, lifted into it. It wasn't a bream, it's definitely a carp. It's a cool one at that. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing.
But we're going to go, aren't we? We decided for a
Gonna
move.
go for a little move. Yeah.
To the venue that we baited right at the start of the trip, that nice little clearer canal. So we're hoping to end on multiple takes.
Yeah, that'd be nice. If we've both had all right ones now, let's end on a bit of action, I'd say.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. You've absolutely made my day on that one.
Upon arriving, we could see that all the bait we'd put out was gone. However, we couldn't see any carp. It's a really clear stretch, and the carp don't really have many places to hide, so we kept moving in the hopes of stumbling across a big group of them. As we approached the last part of the stretch, we were baffled as to where the carp were, questioning the stock levels or whether we'd missed something. Then as we passed over the lock, a bright white koi gave the game away. Henry slowly walked around the other side of the lock and noticed some carp feeding on a shelf at the bottom of an old concrete stairway, so I creeped into position, trying my best not to skyline the spot with my shadow. 3 are coming onto the bar. No. This is incredible. Mate, I'm making a bold statement. That's the carpiest spot I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah, right in the middle, I can see the hook bait. Perfect. Mate, there's 3 fish on it. One's right over you, mate. You're going to get a bite. One is right over you. That one's feeding, look at it, look. Mate, it's so close to your hook bait. Yeah, I think it's picked you up. Oh, I think he spat you out. Henry, look, he shook his head and spooked, look. He's just spat you out. He's just spat you out. He's just spat you, mate. He shook his head and swam off. Yeah, another one's coming on top. That's a better fish. 2 fish are feeding on the shelf now. Use it, your line and spooked. Mate, you're gonna get a bite. Yeah, you're in. Yeah, you're in. Yeah. You're in. Mate, I saw it shake its head. That's unbelievable. Mate, try and steer it away from there. Oh. Yeah. Got it?
That was wicked, man.
What a buzz that was, being able to see the carp take the bait on such a cool little spot. It was my turn next, and despite the disturbance, there was still a few carp about. Oh, how the tides turn, Henry.
Yeah.
He's just had one, dropping it in there in 18 foot of water.
I might as well drop it if Jacob's on the hot spot. It's not no point not having a rod in the water, not thinking it would go, and you just said, "Oh, I'd be mad if you get one."
Mate, that's what's so weird. I said, imagine if you hooked one there and then
just saw the rod
and you
go
looked
like
and the rod tip was going.
This is the most awkward thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
That's a brace.
A brace, baby.
You've done my spotting, but I'm happy for you.
Pair of mega little Belgian Canal mirrors. Not too bad. This time yesterday I was pulling my hair, I had not caught anything, and now I've had 3 fish. And the world is a much better place.
Yeah, you're starting to turn the tide, mate.
Too right.
I'm struggling now.
Nah, I think we've got 2 more fish in this time of cat. So.
I reckon 3 or 4, mate. I reckon I'm going to go out with a bang.
Yeah,
Lovely little carp, isn't it?
They're cool ones. You can imagine when they're got another 20 pound on them, they're going to look sick, aren't they?
I think you did get a little bit unlucky there, mate, because some of them ones we saw a couple of mid-30s, didn't we?
Yeah, they are definitely.
They were the smaller ones of the ones we saw, but
Catch a big tonight.
yeah, we'll get the big ones later. Let's have a look at the bottom one. Another cool little scaly one.
This one's missing. Oh.
One peck.
Yeah.
We'll name him the One Pecker.
Pecky one peck.
With that, we got the rest of our stuff out the van and set up for the night. Providing the carp stayed at this end of the stretch, this could be the perfect ending. We also got some rods out on the top stretch too, the one with a 50-pounder in from the first few nights. You never know. Come on, the carp gods. Anyway, we're just going to have a quick scran, and the next time we see you, one of us is going to be bog-eyed, half asleep, with a rod bent in double, playing a massive canal carp. What do you reckon, Henry?
Oh yeah, I hope
in
it's
3,
me.
2, 1.
See ya.
Yeah, we can lose the dramatic music, as it just turned out to be a £12 common.
Wee.
Way.
Sick.
£12 common, soaking wet, woohoo. Oh, hang on, dramatic music. Someone's on the hot spot. It's not a brain, mate, it's absolutely peeling off. Absolutely ripping off she was. Come on, you deserve a bigger now. For the amount of big ones we saw. That spot's smashing it up, isn't it? Nothing on the old steps, mate. Must have them PVA hooks on. Same mirror, innit? You've had that 3 times. With Henry's lovely mirror safely retained, it was finally my turn for some action.
I don't think it's very big.
Good morning.
You're right.
What was I saying last night, Henry? When I wake up, I always feel absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'm instantly awake.
Well, I've had 2 hours sleep, so I don't feel great now.
Every
But
night.
my rod's ripped off on the old shelf.
Go on, the boy.
It's obviously a daytime spot.
I'd just seen them. You see all this fizzing here?
It was like, what, they were...
I'd just seen them starting fizzing. I thought, oh, we might have another chance here.
What, did you see them come on the shelf?
I didn't see them come on the shelf. I just saw them fizzing in the middle here.
Oh. Oh. Go on. Got to leave in about an hour, so good timing that, innit?
Ooh, it's got some scales, this one.
Some scales. Although no monster, it was just nice to end the trip with a carp each. Ready?
Yeah.
Still behaving?
Just about.
There we go. Final night. No, not the big uns that we came here for, but it's been nice to get a few bites. We've not really had much of a social in terms of bites, so it was nice for Henry to have 3 or 4 runs, didn't you, last night?
I think so, 4, yeah.
Yeah. 4 fish.
Nothing massive, but these are all the older shipping canal strain that have gotten here over the years, spawned on. Cool stories to them, and when they're 30, 40 pounds, they do look really, really cool.
Mental.
Yeah.
Well, we've just planned another trip because we've enjoyed it so much, so I hope you've enjoyed this one. Trip to Belgium on the canals, and next week we're off to France for the big dogs.
Yeah, come on.
Let's go, mate.
Nice work. Well done.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of 70, 80, 90 pound carp.
That is a big, big clay. We're going
French
to catch one that
public
big.
lakes. Oh, take me lunch.
What is this?
That's just me food from the way. I've actually got you a present, mate, for this trip.
Wow, okay, finally, something good.
Something
Give me
good.
in it.
So,
What? Is it alive?
for taking me,
I don't want that. Where have you got that from?
put your hand out.
I do not want a little mouse.
For taking me, I've got you a little
A
present.
little present.
But I'm struggling to film it and reveal.
I don't want this mouse.
Come on.
No, mate. I don't know.
Get out of the van!
Jacob!
This was my first ever fishing trip to France, and based off Henry's venue description, I was coming in with high expectations. We arrived at the first venue way into darkness, which wasn't ideal considering it was a huge public lake that we'd both never seen before. Yeah, we kind of drove down a dead end. Now Henry's got a reverse back. Eventually, we found somewhere to park the van and made our way towards the lake.
We're going to go in the boat and find him. 100%.
Mate, look how clear it is, man.
First fish there you are, Jacob? First French fish?
Mate, it's like incredibly clear, isn't it?
Oh, Jacob.
Right, we found an area. Not just any old area.
It's a beautiful area.
It's absolutely unbelievable. Probably can't even tell that's water. It's crystal clear. Goes out shallow, literally all the way out there is really shallow water. So we're going to be going out in waders, setting high bank sticks, going out in the boat, which is a style of fishing I've never done. Henry's done it a couple of times. No doubt he's going to claim he's an expert. So I will be following his lead, I reckon, on this one for a little bit. But this place, obviously you're going to see in the morning, is incredible. Wonder where the old mouse
Yeah,
is.
where's that mouse? I'm getting that.
Where's the mouse, mate? The mouse is chewed an hole through your boat, I reckon. We spent some time getting our rigs and bait ready and then set out in the boat to try and find some carp. Despite it looking incredible, we didn't see much to go off at all. There was only a few hours left before sunrise, so we put some rods out in the slightly deeper water just so we were fishing. Sadly, we weren't awoken to screaming alarms, but to be told by a local angler that we were in a no fishing area that's actually used as a slipway to get boats in and out of the water. Before packing up and leaving, we decided to go for a quick mooch to try and find the best area to move to. If you didn't know anything and you came round in a boat, you'd say there's not very many carp in this lake. This time of year, for them not to be in the shallows is just mad, isn't it? Unfortunately, we didn't see any carp, but we did find an area that commanded a lot of open water, so we loaded up the boat and made the trip across the lake.
Anything falling in? Anything falling in? Fair play.
Pretty smooth going, to be fair, that. Now it was time to really get to work. The lake itself is about as good as it gets. A 200-acre public lake with a dam wall at one side, a nature reserve at the other, and an old riverbed running through the middle. Of course, full of big carp too. I reckon I'm going to do some bacon and egg sandwiches, but mate, more to the point, if one of them rods peels away, it's going to be so sick.
It's going to be the best day of my life. It will be very good.
And right off the jetty, it's like, it looks shallow.
Boat.
That's your boat, yeah? Your boat's off, mate. Yeah.
Go get that.
Yeah, you might want to get that. I'm glad that wasn't down to me, because I would have got a bollocking off Henry. Terrible cast, Henry. Aren't you a professional angler?
No, you are. Oh, it's getting further now.
Oh my God.
Doing over, mate.
You're all over the gaff. I reckon did underarm tuitions on the cards here. Over the top. You're going to walk the boat, aren't you? Whilst Henry messed around trying to retrieve his boat, I had a quick bite to eat, then got cracking with the bait mix. The bait consisted of 18mm Scopex squid boilie, large seed mix, hemp and tigers. Topped off with spod cloud and salted squid liquid. just to make a nice grubbing mix. This is like a little shallow bay. I'm fishing the left-hand side of the swim with one rod, and I'm going to drive it. There's an old riverbed that runs through that tunnel and comes across the lake. So I'm just scouring out round here to see if I can find anything. But it appears that there's no carp here. It's really weird. This was supposed to be the venue with the most fish, like really good for a bite, but there was 3 people fishing last night. None of them caught. And we haven't seen a single carp. Put the drone in the air, haven't seen a single carp. So they must be sort of still sitting out in the middle, a bit lower down in the water. So I think the plan of action is kind of ignore the shallows for now and get some rods in that riverbed. Using the deeper pros and echo sounder, I located the drop off into the old riverbed. Just a few scoops of bait to start off with to try and stop any carp in the tracks. Using similar tactics, Henry spread his rods out across open water, all in different depths to try and find where the carp were feeding. What do you actually want to do?
I just need to sleep.
Let's get a few hours, and then we'll sleep later, won't we? Sweet mate, see you in a bit. Well, at the very least, it's beautiful, isn't it? No? You don't like it?
I do like it.
Mate, I think
it more with a carp.
Yeah, of course, but let's say we're just here for a camping trip. Beautiful location. Weather's nice. We just need an absolute don't we?
Donkey on the end. Come on!
£50 boy. The night was certainly an active one, but sadly, for all the wrong reasons. We'd caught bream on nearly every rod. Despite using large hook baits, they still proved to be a problem. We both sat through sunrise with the hope of seeing some carp showing, but unfortunately, it just didn't happen. It seemed dead, which for us was a sign to pack up the gear and move on to the next venue. Well, that was probably, I don't want to say the most depressing 2 days because
I've been to funerals before.
That's it's quite over dramatic. But in terms of my first public carping adventure, it was a calamity. We both did put a fair bit of work in. I felt like we were fishing the whole time. We didn't see any carp. There was kind of no level of excitement on that front. We got breamed out last night. Henry thought he had a carp this morning and it was another bream, which was quite devastating but funny from my end. Definitely a carp.
Every now and then it will also go really heavy.
Come on.
They're all fishing around here at the moment. There's like 10 people I know fishing the reservoirs around here. So I think this area is super busy right now. So I think we go down to the gravel pits, which will be quieter. We'll have about 4 hours of light. We can walk around, see what we think. If we're not fancying it, then we can just drive to the reservoir and fish the res first light.
First light, sweet. That's the plan.
Do it.
That's the plan. After only a short drive in the van, we arrived at our second venue, a selection of gravel pits. Although it seemed busy with anglers, it wasn't long before we found some carp. Not only have we seen some carp, but we've found the mother load. We've literally found 150 big carp in incredibly shallow water. We're just going to weigh up some options for night fishing because the lake we found them is days only.
Yeah.
It's game on.
It's got to be.
If we don't catch a carp in the next 4 hours,
we're playing oddities.
we're doing something wrong. The lake is around 30 acres in size and is used for both swimming and water sports. It's lovely and clear and seemed held a good number of carp. We had a little wander up the beach, then quickly prepared some mesh bags of pellet, ready to quietly flick out amongst the group of fish. Fish on, Barry, fish on. I haven't even got a rod out yet. I was just getting the camera equipment sorted. Henry's just dived in, straight rod in. 5 minutes later, fish on. As fun as it was watching Henry play his fish, I was eager to get my rod out. See, I'm such a good friend, look. I let Henry have a bite before I got my rod out.
Speed, mate.
It's not about speed, you ain't got to f***ing film it all. Come on, please be a chunk.
There we go, first carp.
Come on, off the mark.
Stalk from the edge in about 5 minutes. Wicked.
I reckon we're on for a few more here, mate.
I think so too.
Sick, let's get her back. At that depth of water,
They're not swimming towards you.
I'm in. Yeah, it's took it immediately. It's took it immediately, I'm in. It's took it immediately.
How much you got now, Bill?
That is mad. Henry's just let us go. I'm just underarm flicked onto some fish and it's gone before I've got the rod back over it.
Did you feel it take it? Did you feel a tap?
No, I was literally holding the rod and it started just running out of my finger, the line. You took it immediately. Get on the yellow squid pop-ups there, buddy. I don't think this is a big thing.
Whee! Go on, Jacob, lad.
I think it's the same one you caught, mate. To be fair. Fish number 1 for me. 2 nights of nothing. We drop on here, on some fish. Shallow water spring fishing. 2 carp in 10 minutes. I won't bother with pictures, mate.
No, you right?
Nah, get it back.
First French carp, you don't want pictures?
I'll get a picture of me first. Chunk.
Yeah, go on then.
Get up there. With it being shallow water, we weren't sure if the fish had drifted out of the bay, but that doubt was quickly put to bed.
Yes.
Would you believe it? Henry's in again. Henry's in again. Didn't even have a chance to put a new hook on and he's in again. And this one is peeling. Snagged him up on an invisible snag. He always finds an excuse to go swimming. What is he doing? He's off his head. He's going to be swimming in a minute. Oh, that's gutting. That's gutting because you had it on for ages and it was fine.
I don't even know what it is.
Matt had just gone round some weird little bit of metal piping or something. Hey up, I'm in.
Right, then.
Yeah, I'm in.
Hold in.
Yeah. This is the life. This is the life to live. Come on, £30 please.
How's it feel?
Can't really tell how big they are on 6 foot rods. I think this is the first time I've properly used a 6 footer, mate. Oh, you're in, Henry.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, pull it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in. Couple takes. This is craziness. Double takes and that, bro. How do you say fun in French?
Joli.
Jolie. Oh. Bad. How do you say no fun?
C'est pas joli.
C'est pas joli. Oh. I lost it.
Oh mate, they're boshing long.
Still there.
Yeah, they're going guaranteeing, mate.
Come on, be a bigger. Please be a bigger one. Oh, I'm in. Yeah? How big is it?
Oh, 30.
Close to 30? Yeah. This one's going to be a 40. Please don't come off. I really do think this is a better one, mate. Yeah, this is brilliant. Oh, it's come off! No. Again! F***'s sake! That was a big one. I could cry, mate. On a serious note, I am devastated. That was a good fish.
Yeah.
That was a garren good fish. It was just slow, ponderous, heavy. I don't think I've ever had 2 hook pulls consecutively for years. So I don't know what's going on today.
But what are you going to do?
Henry's saying to me, your traditional Ronnie is not good enough, and to put on a separation D-rig. So, do you know what? I'd be a fool to ignore him and then lose another one, wouldn't I? So, if you can't beat them, join them.
Now, if you lose the next one.
I'll lose the next one on your D. On your D, that sounds so weird.
On your D.
On your D. They're still showing. One's just showing over me, another one's just showing over Henry. It's kicking off. We just need a better one, mate. We just need.
Mine's alright, the one I've just had.
It's a 30.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You've got wonky eyes, mate.
It's definitely
Might be a
30.
30 with a pot of leads in the net with it.
Easy
I reckon
30.
it's 26.
No,
That one I
give
just lost was
over.
48. You wait, you in.
He's in, baby!
Oh, yeah, you're in, you're in. This is just ridiculous at this point, isn't it? Come on, please be a 40-pounder. It's just mad. I think every carp in the lake has drifted into the shallow bay, and it's just, we've just put yellow pop-ups in front of them at the right time of year, and it's game on. What have you got?
I reckon that's a 40.
Is that the bigger one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a 40-pounder, and that one's a 30.
Hey, we'll take that.
We got there. There we go, mate.
Now it's all coming good.
Well, we've turned the trip around in a day, mate.
Yeah, too right.
Sick. Let's get them back.
40.
Coming in live and direct.
That was literally 5 minutes.
Hopefully, I don't lose this one. Mate, mine's churning as well. I think we're both hooked big uns again. I knew this was a big carp from the moment I hooked it. A constant slow run that didn't stop for about 70 yards. I actually started to worry it was going to take me around the buoys, so I dropped the rod and kept a steady pressure on the fish. Eventually, I had to actually run down the bank to get an even better angle.
There you go, £20 common. See ya.
Mate, I know I've hook pulled a few, but of all the ones that should have hook pulled me, it should have been this one. It went round the buoys, it beasted me, it come up, and you know when you see the top of them, it's a 40-pounder, 100% 40-pounder. If this comes off, I will cry. It's a big carp, mate. What was yours?
Oh, £20 common. Just slipped it back.
Pasties.
Pasties.
Look at the size of this thing. Look at the size of this thing. Could be a 50, mate. That's massive. That's absolutely massive.
Oh, Jacob. Oh. That's a big one.
Get in there!
Got a round of applause over there. Go on, let's see him.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that's a 50.
it's enormous. It's a 50-pounder. Hey!
Good tin, I deserve
PB,
that.
isn't it?
PB's £50. That's got to be close to £50.
Do you want to go get the scales?
Yes.
Jacob, your new PB. No!
It's 48 something, isn't it?
Lift it again.
It's £48.
45.
Nah.
45.
That can't be 45.
45.
Jesus.
I thought that was 52,
I thought
53.
that was way bigger than the 50 I've had.
Yeah. 45, yeah.
Is that all it is? 45?
Oh, it looks massive.
I don't know how that's not £50. But it's an absolute chunker. What's that, mate? 8 or 9 bites in like 4 hours?
More.
10
It's
bites?
more. I think we're on like 12 bites.
We've turned this trip round. We left this morning pretty sad. We got wet in the rain and we just thought, please come good. It's safe to say that's a great end to the day. Although still fizzing.
Yeah, we might catch a few
I
more.
reckon we might get 1 or 2 more. Lift him up one more time. And we're getting back. Big old carp. Powerful fish. Look at the vortex, mate, coming off that.
We love a vortex.
Not a PB, but that's room. That means we can add on to this session now.
Successful day.
Successful day, and it's going to be a long time till we get rods out tonight, innit? What is it? 11 o'clock. We've got to eat some food, have some grub, which I forced Henry to do because I'm sick of not eating. And then we're going to drive around to another lake, which we've not even seen yet. Hopefully not see too many anglers, and then spend some time. We're not going to rush and get rods out and go to sleep. We're going to spend time, try and maximise on the night, and then probably daytime back to the hauling spot, providing the carp are there, which is not a given. Once we'd finished eating, we made our way round to the lake. We took a lap round, then settled on one of the far corners. With it being a lake we'd never fished before, we didn't want to make too much disturbance finding spots, so decided to quietly drop some rigs out with the bait boat. What did I say, Henry?
He said the one that was cast will go first.
Yeah, we put 4 rods out of the bait boat. I did 1 carpy underarm, and this is the one that's just absolutely peeled
That
off.
peeled and a half,
Won
didn't it?
Braid, mate. Don't think it's a big one. Jesus, mate, braid is savage, isn't it?
Oh, isn't it
This
nice?
is meant to be the, what did you call it? The Carp Hotel, just a quick stop off the
Carp
Port of Mar.
Hotel, yeah. Just drop in before we head back to the day fishing zone where we caught those yesterday. Bausch. Have it.
I reckon we're in for a few bites here, mate.
I think you might be right there. But it's true, we did say it, didn't we?
I literally just said to Henry, it was a joke, but I said, because he showed me the automatic setting, driving the boat out, finding the spot, and then you just press a button and it takes it back to it. We did 4 rods, he showed me how to use it, and I went, do you know what's funny, after all that, the only one that's been casted is going to go. Mega stuff. Both these fish caught about 4 or 5 a.m. Just left them in the net for a couple of hours. The sun's high in the sky and it's time to go to the beach swim where there's going to be some carp about. But yeah, lovely, lovely brace of fish. Not massive for French standards. Good bit of sport. Let's get off, Henry, eh?
Let's do it.
Let's get off. They're here again. All the fish are back in the shallows. See them. As you can probably imagine, we were so excited to get rods back out in this lake. Same as the day previous, we knocked up a few mesh bags, then Henry wasted no time in getting his rod out towards the group of fish. That was, what do you reckon, 10 seconds? Yeah, I'm in. It was clear that it was going to be another day full of action. Mine was only a small common, so I popped the hook out and let it go. You can actually see from this aerial footage that the carp did initially spook off the lead landing, but soon honed in on the bright yellow pop-up, and this one seemed to be much better.
Whoa.
Proper fish, mate.
Really cool.
That's a lovely carp. What do you reckon? Upper 20?
Upper 20, I'd say.
Nice
it looks
shape.
like the strain of that Canal mirror I caught.
Yeah, big scales, mate. Supercharge.
Super like.
Before Henry recast his rod, we had a little discussion about our rigs. He was using a supple braid material, whilst I was using a stiff fluoro link. It was clear his rig was able to fly much further back into the fish's mouth, resulting in him not losing a single fish. Right, I'm going to go and tie one of your separation Ronnies, mate.
Do you want to put the bike cam on? Because I think this could go in a minute.
Yeah, fish on. That's old as the hills, mate, isn't it? Oh, proper old fish.
I think so. I'll eat that for a year ago.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, that's a proper one, mate. Look how old it is.
We have seen some big ones today, though, on this dock.
Mate, I saw one on the drone feeding really close to my hook bait, and it was massive. It was a big, massive black thing, and then a smaller one came in and took it, and that was the one that was probably 33, 34 pound that hook pulled. So I reckon I saw a 50 pounder over there. What's the biggest in it?
Don't know.
60?
Maybe. Don't really know. Nah, you've got a crap.
That's the worst carp we've caught so far. Once again, that's getting unhooked and let go. But Henry's got an absolute cheese in the net. Like a serious carp. That's awful, mate, that one. Henry's got like a low 30. Old, scabby, wily, clever, elusive.
Really cool, mega old carp.
That's sick, mate. It's so long, isn't it?
Real long. Yeah, it does have a bit of unfortunate mouth damage. We'll put a bit of carp care on, but I do think it's been tethered and had a bit of a tough life recently, so we'll slip him back.
I'm on pasty patrol and losing fish today. We're going to go off, refreshen, grab some food, come back.
Shitted all over me.
Oh, what's that? Scopex squid, yeah, right.
Right, let's go, refresh, get a bit of food, come back and catch a few more.
Yes, mate. Whilst we were in the shop grabbing some food, we came up with an idea. We wanted to set a GoPro underwater and try and get a live take. We noticed all day boaters and swimmers passing the Carp, and they didn't spook at all. So as soon as we got back, Henry swam out with the rig in his hand and placed it on the bottom, followed by setting the camera in place. Literally 30 seconds after Henry had got out the water, a big carp came in from the back of the swim, slowly tipped down and got absolutely nailed. Yes.
Yes. It.
That was the bigger, mate.
If I can find the GoPro. That's going to be the big test now, actually finding the GoPro.
Oh, mate, please stay on. Please don't come off. I'll do anything. So, update time. Went for a Mackey's and a freshen up. And we had an idea. The water's clear. We can't keep coming into the shallows. As swimmers, they're not spooking off them. Henry's put his goggles on, gone out into the lake, put a GoPro down, put the rig in front of them, and we just wanted to see, especially with me having hook pulls, how they're feeding. And yeah, had the drone in the air, saw one shake its head, and it looks like a decent fish.
Does look like a good one.
I'm just praying my luck is with me today, and this one doesn't fall off, and that we can see it take the hook bait on the GoPro. Hopefully Henry's eyes are good. What, 40 pounder, Henry?
Looks decent, mate.
Come on, it's a big carp. Don't make another run for it, you're done now. You're mine. You're on the top.
Yeah, that is a real big one as well.
Love you, Henry. Come on. Well, before I lift this, it's definitely a 40-pound carp, and at this point we don't know whether we have or haven't just got a really cool underwater shot of it taking the hook bait, because my SD card is saying it's corrupt. So at this point in the film you've either seen a great take or you haven't, but either way I have caught 40-pounder, second one from this lake. Oh, and that's a good 40-pounder, mate.
Yeah, that's a very good 40-pounder.
The one yesterday, I think.
That's a big carp.
Mid-40s, isn't it? Come on.
That's a big fish, mate.
And this style of fishing is just typical of the spring. Finding the carp, shallow water, keeping it simple. Big carp. Get in there. We've got an evening left. Hopefully catch a few more. Probably won't be filming too much now, just going to enjoy an evening's fishing, and then we're off to a different venue where we're probably just going to pleasure fish or potentially film a bit for Henry. So that is a wrap. This is the last carp of this film. I hope you've enjoyed it. Certainly going to be more of these big carp adventures in the future for me and Henry. Let's get it back. Thanks, Henry. It's been a good trip, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Nestled away in the French countryside is one of the coolest lakes I've had the pleasure of fishing. A 40-acre crystal clear gravel pit, full of snags, weed, and most importantly, ridiculous carp. Now the sad news is, this session was merely a stop off on the way back to the UK, so we only had 36 hours fishing ahead of us. It's a lake that Henry had actually fished before, so he formulated a plan to fish the main point and split the lake into two. I had the left side, whilst he had the right. Although getting base camp sorted might have been the more sensible option, I couldn't help but get out in the boat and do some exploring. Oh my god, this place is incredible. Look how clear it is. Nah, this is heaven. Henry's out there enjoying himself with a little slow cruising motor. I'm having to oar around, but to be honest, I think it makes it a bit more fun, doesn't it, with an oar. And I've got a bit more control when I get close to the fish. I can slow down and make a lot less noise. I don't know anything about the stock, how many fish are in here. I've not even asked Henry because I kind of want to figure that out for myself. It makes it a bit more fun, doesn't it? But yeah, for now, let's try and find something. Oh, I've just disturbed a carp, look. I've just disturbed a fish. Massive disruption coming off the bottom. And there, oh, another patch, a couple of patches. So, a group of fish. So there would have been a group of fish here. No spots though. No actual zones there. But I'll keep an eye on that. After drifting 10 or 15 yards further, I noticed some channels leading into big feeding spots, which is exactly what I was hoping to find. I put a few handfuls of bait on it and marked it as one of my spots. I spent the next 2 hours drifting around the lake seeing what else I could find. There were so many likely looking spots, I almost had to choose wisely. The ones that stood out to me, I gave a few handfuls of bait. The rest, I noted to keep an eye on throughout the session. Henry, on the other hand, knew the lake already and wasted no time in getting rods out immediately. I've just got back, found so many spots, but the areas where I could see the bottom, I didn't see any carp, and that's obviously because the fish aren't feeding there. I drifted down into that bay. My GoPro had died, so I couldn't actually film any of it, but the whole thing was murked up, and I saw about 9 or 10 carp. God knows how many's actually down there. Plan of action is get one out for now on that point, on an area that I can actually see the bottom. Good area to sort of have the first rod. And then I think I'm going to spend a couple of hours clearing a swim down there because I can't get access from here. So back in the boat, get one rod fishing. Henry's already got 2 out. How you feeling, mate?
Really good. It's incredible, isn't it?
Unbelievable lake.
I've only fished it once in September and it was a lot weedier, it was a lot harder to move around, it's harder to find spots. Now you're just drifting over and you just see carp all of a sudden and these amazing clear areas.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Right, I reckon we've got 5 hours before dark and I've got a lot of work to do, so
We do have a lot of work.
I'm off. Using the maps feature on the Deeper Pro, I was quickly able to relocate the spots I'd found out in the boat. This would also make finding them just as easy when the light levels fell. You can see the mussels on the bottom. Perfect. Spot on. Spot on. The second rod was placed on a big silty area that I'd actually seen carp passing over whilst being out in the boat. That'll be a bite. Get in the boat, boy, get in the boat. Screamer! I think I've got a bream on. Didn't even know there's any bream in it. It's a Barry. Barry bream. Despite my nuisance bream, it was such a good sign that Henry was into a carp so early on in the session, and I couldn't wait for my turn to be out in the boat playing a fish in such clear water. It turned out to be a small common, at least for this lake standards, but it was still nice to see that the carp were not only on the feed, but they were also quickly responding to the bait that he'd put out. Public lake hero?
Public lake hero. Just a little baby one.
It's just a little common.
Yeah.
Better than a bream, mate.
Much better than a
Didn't know there's bream in here, man. That's devastating.
It's a bit annoying. I definitely think this is, I think the locals, they catch them from the river over there and dump them in. I think this is one of them, or at least it's spawned on one of them.
At least it's a carp, mate.
At least it's a carp. There we go, first blood. For the public lake hero. Go.
Not a dark one.
Cool little common.
Really cool colour, isn't it? Jet black. One of them at £40 will do.
Yes, definitely, 100%. One of them at £40 will do.
Yes, bro, well done.
Like 10, but it's not enough to charge something that's 12 volt. That's what I was saying to you, innit? So it's gone below 12 volt, it can't. That's a bite.
That'll be another bite, won't it? Angry one and all. That's a better one, isn't it? I reckon it is, ripping like that through the weed. Whilst Henry went out to play his fish, I cracked on with getting my rod back out. Big carp on the spot. No! No! Oh, that's the spot I've just caught a bream off. That was a big carp. That was a mid-30 common. No! I'll be honest, spooking that carp off the spot was absolutely gutting. But on a more positive note, Henry was out doing battle with an absolute beast. How big's that? Really? 40? Off. No way. After seeing Henry get 2 bites so quickly, I realised I needed a change of tactics. Clearing a swim at the far end of the arm just wasn't necessary. With limited time, I needed to take a leaf out of his book and get rods out ASAP. After seeing so many carp down the end, I still wanted to fish this part of the lake. So I opted to boat across to the snags at an angle that meant that I could still get the rod back to base camp. Right, let's quickly drop this out. Yeah, there's, oh my god, look at them. They've seen me there and spooked. That's alright. They were feeding right there. There's a few more in the snag. Yeah, this is the spot. This is the spot. Perfect. Right, now I've got a oar 100 metres into the wind. This will be fun. Which one was it, right or left?
Right.
Still on, yeah?
Well, I think it's in a wee
We
bit.
can only hope.
Yeah.
Is that your net and your pole?
No, it's in there already.
In there?
Yeah.
Net's in there?
Everything's there. Go out.
Undo me off that, would you?
Yes. Do not run over any of my lines.
On my own.
Right, let's see if he catches this.
And we're in. Henry's lent me his boat because it's a lot quicker. I was actually out finding spots, so I don't know if this fish is still on. I can only hope. Come on. If I'm honest, I wasn't all that confident that I still had a fish on the end. With the build-up of weed on the line, it took so long to get across the lake. Please. Must be close to the fish now because it's really grating.
I'm not really sure if it's still on.
Watch it be a 12-pound common. There's me leader knot. Is there a carp at the end of it? Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Oh, it's still on. I just saw it splash.
Get in. Get in. Get in. I thought that would have come off, I'm not going to lie. Come on. God, it's digging right into the weed again. Come on. Yes. Ah, get in. Isn't she wonderful?
Are you happy?
Mate, I'm happy because I've been stressing, bro. So, update. Henry wads out immediately. Bosch, electric motor. Jacob, little boat. Went round the lake. Took me ages with an oar. Probably overdoing it a bit, trying to look for spots that maybe definitely have fish on them. But then Henry's caught straight away, so it's clear that it's clearly not that important.
It's not that it's not important.
Not that it's not important, but I'm looking for tiny spots, seeing carp, but I think there's a lot of fish in here. So yeah, me and Henry had a bit of a discussion. I was getting very stressed out. And I was decided just to keep it simple, and one of the rods that I put right at the start just ripped off, and I've got myself a lovely mirror, which is, I'm feeling zen. It's a nice carp, mate.
Good.
Nice scaly one. Right, should we do your monster?
Yeah.
Just about to photograph his fish. He's in again. One of these is a monstrous common. We were literally just about to lift it for video, and once again, the rod's torn off. Henry really was smashing it as another lovely common passed over his net cord. This is the biggest one. We're going to photograph and weigh this one first. Spin it round.
46.
Spin it round for me. £46, just over £46.
Yes!
That's one of the big ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get in.
Right.
Smashed it. Let's get some pictures of it. Quick time, because we've got all the others to do.
Well.
Don't lose it.
I won't. This has been probably one of the craziest couple of days of fishing I've ever had, Jacob, I'd say, because before this it was pretty insane, and now we've had just the most ridiculous afternoon of fishing I think I've ever had. Topped off, I think, 6 or 7 bites with this mid-40.
Oh, my.
Brute.
And I'm in.
Oh.
I'm in. Oh, what do you do? Leave it. It'll get stuck in the weed. Let's worry about the carp.
This is crazy.
Right, mate. Put it back in the sack. I'm going to get my fish and I'll take some pictures for you.
Okay, sweet. It's still going. This is insane,
mate,
fishing.
It's a good job I didn't rush and get loads of rods out, because I don't think we've been able to keep up.
No. I don't think so either.
Come on, the carp.
Good luck. Got a net?
Got one in here, mate, yeah. Off we go. Off we go. This is the best fishing. Well, I haven't even got started yet, but so far this is the best fishing I've ever had. It's only a little one. Right, let's get it netted and get back to Henry quick.
In the net, Jacob. Good stuff.
With the fish in the net, it was time to get Henry's mega common photographed and show you the rest that we'd caught. Off in it. Oh no.
Oh, please, no.
Oh no.
We just need 5 minutes.
We need 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's a lovely one, mate.
Got the hoover on it. So, off the mark, my first carp from this lake. And it's an absolute banger. Right, should we get some pictures?
Yeah.
Quickly, because I don't even know what you've got in the slings, to be fair, mate. Could be anything.
Some 30s. Right, I'm hoping he's the smallest one. He's a cool one. There's a chance I've caught this one because he looks very familiar, but...
Slate grey.
Oh. All comments do. So I'm
Right.
Put this one in its way. I don't want to picture this one, Jacob.
You don't want a picture?
No.
You absolute hero.
There we go.
Right,
Slip him back.
Off it goes.
Thank you, mate.
I'll be honest to you, yeah?
Yeah.
If I didn't come here with you, I would have filmed this, slowly filmed that. I think I would have only a couple of hours ago actually got a rod out. If it wasn't for you getting triple takes, I wouldn't have even rushed at all. Like,
but then you wouldn't have caught this.
mate, that's another absolute banger. No, you've got to get a picture of that.
Yeah.
Yeah? Don't lose it. Oh, state of a mate.
Crazy. This is so mental.
I feel like we need to just reel in and drive off and have a party tonight to celebrate.
No, I'm going to catch some more.
Mate, that is just ridiculous.
Crazy one. Right, quick picture?
Yeah, this one deserves a picture.
Yeah.
Look at the backdrop. Mate, if you'd have said to me, like, this is where we're going and showed me this place, I would have made us come here first. So what you won't know is we've already been in France for 4 or 5 nights. We've tackled 2 different venues, already caught loads of carp.
Yeah.
And this was like the last 2 nights. Come to this little lake. It's all right, Jacob, we'll catch a few. All right. All right. That's what I mean. I come here thinking there might be 50 carp in here.
Look, have I ever taken you anywhere bad? Well done. Back he goes.
Right, we've done all the fish.
I mean, you need to get the rods back in the
We've
water.
only got 2 rods out. I've only got 2 rods out. I say we sort the camp, just in case one of the others goes. Yeah.
Surprised it's not, to be fair.
And then we'll get the rods out, probably just before dark.
Yeah, sweet. Good angling, my friend.
Better from you, mate. Before going back out in the boat to re-drop the rods, I topped up my bait bucket ready for the rest of the session. This consisted of a full tub of large seed mix, tiger nut slush, broken Scopex squid boilies, hemp, and of course some high attract squid liquid. We both got all our rods out fresh and sat back enjoying the lovely evening. Surprisingly, most of the night passed by without a single bleep. However, at around 3 AM we had a short burst of action which resulted in multiple battles out in the boat. The last of which for me was an absolute monster, definitely bigger than anything else I'd seen in the lake so far. Oh my god, that's an absolute beast. Get in there! I actually went out in the boat with Henry to watch him replace one of his rods. At this point, he had no idea of the carp that I'd just caught. Once we got back to the bank, I excitedly brought him to the water's edge and opened up the sling for a quick look. Despite being half asleep, as he looked in the sling, his eyes opened wide and he said, "That's a good one." As the sun rose, I decided to reposition the only rod of mine that hadn't gone during the night. Sometimes, a fresh cloud of bait can actually encourage the fish to feed. You look like a weirdo, hopping about like a goblin. Why is the rod's not gone? What is going on? I'm pretty hungry. Have you got a fruit scone? 20 minutes after redoing that rod, it burst into life and I was out in the boat doing battle. That's a big one, big one. Yes. Oh my god. Wow, I thought that was going to be a bream. Oh my god. Thought that was going to be a bream the whole way out. It's definitely not a bream. Big common, another nice common. God, these boat battles are mental. They just go, dive their head in. Once you lift them, they bolt off at 100 miles an hour. Here it comes up. Right, let's get the net ready. Might be able to net it here actually, without the landing net pole. Come on. Come on, matey. Yeah, get in. Yes. Ah. Never really kicks off until about 11 o'clock, especially when the sun doesn't come up. So if the sun come up early, they'd feed harder quicker.
Yeah, okay. I like your thinking.
It's not thinking, it's based off fact.
Yeah, right, Simon. You ain't getting away from me, pal. Right, you ready?
Yeah. Got it. No way if you just dived and caught it.
Told you, ain't getting away.
One little lift. Sick, mate. Lovely carp. Right, pictures before you lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is I think the other one's a bit bigger, you know. I reckon this one's about 34, 35. Well, yeah, 30.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, fair play. Get him
Not
in
this
there.
time, my boy.
As if you chased it like that. Get it in there. Not again, Jacob. Shambles.
Well, that's why I said we're doing.
You dropped it on the outside both times.
I put it in it.
We're going to get so many comments. What a bunch of noddies.
It's funny though, isn't it? It's like you're living life on the
Good
edge.
job you got these on. They'll dry straight away.
Swimming trunks. You're almost
new
living.
scope shorts. This, however, could take a little while.
If that was in the UK and you lost a common like that, you'd be devastated, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But you're not bothered?
I think we've lost 3 30-pound commons. I haven't got pictures where they've just died off. One more lovely common to photograph, then it was time to get out the big one.
Nice.
I didn't know it was this bigger. £50.
That looks enormous. Oh my days, Jacob.
Big, innit?
Yeah.
Big.
It looks huge.
It's mad the difference between a 40 and a 50, innit?
Mm.
It's like,
Especially when like that one's not holding it in its belly or anything, it's holding it in its length and just its like broadness. Oh my god.
some carp. Thanks for the tip off, Henry. Thanks for bringing me down. He's been trying to get me to buy a van and do European travels, but I keep saying, no, I'm enjoying my fishing in London. After this, I think I'm gonna have to do this a little bit more often. It's just, this lake, honest to God, takes me back to one of the very first lakes I fished. Really quiet, weedy lake, go out on a boat, and carp like this. Thank you, Henry.
No worries, mate. Day's getting away from us a bit. It's been quiet for a while now.
It has, but I think, what time did we get here yesterday? We didn't get rods out till 2 o'clock,
Yeah, true.
and it's what, 11?
4, I think we got the first bite. It's when I had my first bite.
And then you had 7 bites, and then you got rods out, so. As our time came to a close on the abandoned pit, we just hoped for one more opportunity. Mate, there's no way that's the last carp we catch by 9 PM. I'll be if I don't have at least 3 more. That's the giant. Yep, Yeah.
Oh. Yes!
That'll be a bite. That's a screamer.
That's an absolute lemon peeler. Orange peeler. Chaos!
Have you just redone that one as well?
Would you like to know?
Good angling.
Would you like
Mate,
to know?
that's
another
going.
bite?
Knowing this was probably his last bite, I was really hoping for a special one to end on. As Henry got out in the boat, he realised the fish was buried in a huge pile of weed. So he slowly hand-lined until the ball of weed, followed by a mega old mirror, made its way into the net. Before he could even get back to base camp, one of my rods busted off. Could this be the mega ending that I was hoping for? You're having fun there, mate?
Caught a big one. Caught a mirror. I wanted a mirror. I'm happy.
Mate, that is an absolute cheddar.
That's cool, isn't it? I was saying to you earlier I wanted a mirror.
It's an absolute cheese.
Sick carp.
Well, this is my last one. Pretty average stamp, close to £30. Henry has got a banger to end on. Incredible trip. To catch a 50-pounder is one thing. We're just fishing this lake. I've not done this style of fishing for a long time. It's been great. Thank you, Henry, once again.
No worries, mate.
Here's to more European adventures. Mate, that's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Oh mate, look at the state of that.
How about that for an ending? I was saying to you I wanted a mirror, and the last fish is cool, near 40-pounder. Old, epic carp, epic trip. Absolutely loved it. This place is just so much better than I even remembered. Cheers for coming along, Jacob. Here's to the next one.
Yes mate, definitely. What a fish, mate. Sadly, our short stay on the abandoned pit was over, but what an incredible trip we'd had. I think it's safe to say, with venues like this about, I'll be escaping London more often. And we're back again.
We're back, baby.
We're back again. This time, Henry's brought me to a set of lakes in Belgium that he tells me are incredible.
You're gonna love it. It's like a carp angler's playground.
Yeah?
There's loads of lakes, some of them are connected. There's like 2 sets of connected lakes. So the fish can swim out all between them. The stock is ridiculous.
Sick. Big
Proper.
ones?
I'd say over the complex is maybe 4 or 5 50s. So right, not France level, but
nice fish.
a nice one.
You got any pictures that I can overlay over the
Yeah,
top?
we'll stick them in there.
Yeah,
we'll get them in.
we'll
Get them in.
get
You're
them
seeing
in
them
there.
now. You're looking at them right now.
Well, we've literally just got here, as usual, on the crossing. Didn't even bother filming that. We've been here so many times.
What were you doing last night, Jacob?
Last night, I was actually doing a dance show, which Henry hasn't sort of let drop. You need to be doing your job, fishing. But we're out now for 3 nights, Henry.
Yes.
So we're literally unloading, getting all our gear down to the lakes, because the last few Euro trips we've been all over the place moving around, so it'd be nice to actually be on one complex for the whole trip. So yeah, bit of a van sort out, get down to the lake, and then we'll keep you updated from there on, basically. Nice. Smooth, Henry, smooth. Despite me thinking I could carry all my gear, what I hadn't anticipated is quite how far the walk was, made even worse by the boiling hot weather. So I ended up leaving my gear in the back of the van and going for a mooch with Henry first. Nice in here. Beautiful. Oh mate. What a lake, man.
Oh you, I don't take you anywhere bad, do I? There's one. Just sticking its head out.
Oh yeah, I can see it, yeah.
Just see him. Definitely look like they could be up for a mixer.
Yeah, we've got to have a go float fishing, haven't we? We spent the next hour or so wandering around what felt like a maze. Weedy bays, deep clear marginal spots, and huge snags. The fact that all these lakes were joined together by small channels made it such a puzzle. Yeah, we could set up a base camp in between, and we have a lake each. Then we have sort of space.
Set of lakes each, really, you can do.
Yeah.
We'll see. Like I said, we could go and it could be like
loads of carp.
10 anglers on the front lakes, on the back, and they could all be in one lake. And then it's like, right, well, we got to
go there together. Yeah. Well, you drove, so you are on first choice. I would like, if possible, if we can be close enough together, because obviously for the filming purposes, I'd like to be there to film what you catch. But if it means we catch less, we have to split.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, won't we?
1, 2, 3, 4. One of them looks really long.
Oh yeah, look at them. They're gagging for a floater, mate. There's loads in the tree lot. See them? Mate, look at them all. Just as I said, that's the biggest snag we've seen so far. Look how many there are sitting in there, look. Go around there and get some floaters out in that bait, or what?
Yeah, we can try.
Before I went to get my gear out of the van, I decided to spend some time with Henry, as it looked like there was a really good chance for a surface opportunity. He catapulted out some slicker floaters, then set up a stealth controller with an imitation biscuit, ready for when the fish started feeding. It wasn't long before a carp or two began taking the odd mixer. However, they were sticking close to the snags, so we needed to get a little bit closer in order to make the right cast. We sat it out for another hour or so, but the fish just weren't feeding confidently enough, so we decided to knock it on the head, at least for now.
It's no builder's trolley, is it?
What have we got there, Henry?
Bait that I've told you not to touch.
New test bait.
New test bait.
And Henry said I'm not allowed to use it.
Because you're not part of the testing team.
I'm not part of the testing team. And also he says that if he catches loads and I blank, then it shows that the new test bait's amazing. It does.
No, it shows I'm better than you.
Or just it shows that he's on a spot with 100 carp on it.
Well, no one's going to catch anything with standing around here all day, so should we get move on? No, you don't. Throw a power barrel, that's what you need.
Yeah, why have you got a power barrel?
Left it.
Unprepared. So, I've set up in the causeway between the front and the back set of lakes. Henry's on the front lakes, which is slightly smaller, and I'm on the back lakes. And I saw a few fish show on the channel that crosses between two of my lakes. Put the drone up, and lo and behold, there's loads of carp there. A koi gave them away, to be fair. I'm not going to fish for them straight away, because once I get a rod out, I'm stuck in the swim, so I've decided to go for a little wander. But I've seen probably 15 carp, and it's sort of behind, 2 lakes behind where my bivvy is. Only about a 5-minute walk, so not too bad. But yeah, there's absolutely loads of fish. I tried to smash through the rushes to rake a swim out where the fish are, but I need my waders because it drops off pretty quick and my feet were getting wet. So it's looking really good. Henry's on fish, he got first pick, so he's going to fish that side. I'm pretty sure he's going to get an opportunity from there. But yeah, here's Henry. What have you been up to?
I've been trying to catch off the top of my bread. I don't want to put a dampener on your floater fishing, but I don't think they're really.
They're not really up for the floaters.
Nah, I think it's a bit fool's gold. So I'm going to go and fish that corner where we did get them taken.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go and fish a spot down here that I bait and fish a feeding on.
Which is directly behind me,
yeah, so
isn't
we
it?
can do this the night together.
Little social jobby. Right, I'm going to get some floaters out.
I'm going to go try and catch one.
See you in a bit, mate. The carp were so active, fizzing, bow waving in the upper layers. However, they didn't respond to the mixers at all. In fact, if anything, it seemed to actually put them on edge and they stopped showing altogether. With that, I decided to go back for my waders and begin clearing a swim to pre-bait as a backup spot. The The plan was to make a clearing in the weed so I could ensure that my rig would be presented when I do decide to fish this spot. However, just as I got to the water's edge and was about to throw the rake, I noticed a carp passing through, and a big one too. I didn't want to risk spooking it, so I decided to head back to base camp and get the other rod sorted first.
You know, for all the over 50s out there, you know, I told you to take out the bits where we had the conversation about the thing and so that people believe it.
Unfortunately, the back of the bar was just out of casting distance, and inflatable boats were not allowed. Luckily though, Henry came to the rescue and informed me he had a bait boat in the back of the van. Although not my favourite style of angling, this was going to be the only option if I wanted to be fishing this spot. As I was going to be fishing over the back of the bar, I decided to spool up with 20 or so metres of 40-pound mono snag leader, just to have that extra abrasion resistance. A light scoop of bait and it was time to get it out. This was actually my first time properly using a bait boat, and it was apparent that they weren't used all that often on this venue, as the carp didn't seem to react at all. I decided to drop it just down the shelf into about 5 foot of water. I felt that going into the night, this would be my best chance of a bite. The second rod, I had a few casts around with a lead until I found a clear area that I was happy with out in open water. Henry had spent a couple of hours fishing right up to the snags with the bushwhacker, but had no success, so moved into a corner swim where he'd seen some carp earlier in the day. Is this your spot for the night?
Yeah, just so we're close to each other. It's not the best spot, I don't think, but put a lot of bait on 2 of the spots that are going to be my go-tos tomorrow. So
Nice.
I think tomorrow's going to be a case of winning around, chasing them big time.
God, they're noisy enough, aren't they? Ah! It's mad how such a small creature can make such a racket. Bosh. That was a carp. Is that what you baited?
We catching tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm going to get one first light, I reckon.
Same. I'm going to put the target 5 each.
5 each throughout the whole trip.
Yeah. That's the target.
My estimation is that you catch 7 fish and I catch 4 or 5, but mine are bigger.
I think you'll catch the biggest.
Based off what I've seen in that corner.
I think you will catch the biggest. I hope you don't, but...
As the sun began to set, it was apparent that the carp had moved off the bar. With it being likely they wouldn't return till the morning, I decided now was the perfect time to reel in and begin clearing that weedy corner spot. With that done, and the rods back out in base camp, I was confident I'd made the most of my day. And now, it was up to the carp gods. Rough. Good morning. Rough morning. Absolutely shattered. But we've both got a carp. Well, I've got a grass carp, an absolutely monstrous grass carp, and you've got a 30-pounder, Henry.
34 common, but I also lost 2, which I'm very upset about.
Lost 2 as well.
Yeah. So I lost one in this swim, so I moved round to another swim because I thought I'd blown it. Lost one in there, it's both times in the weed. Then came back round here and had one about an hour ago.
At least you've got one, a 30-pounder as
Yeah.
well. Right, I'm just dropping this rig, mate, so 1 second. So many fish out on that bar. Originally I was going to cast, because I don't have a bait boat. It's quite a big chuck, and Henry went, use my bait boat. And I thought, why not? Why not be accurate? So I'm just dropping a little trim down wafter over a lot of carp, so feeling good this morning.
It's gonna go in an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Henry! Henry!
Goodbye.
Just pulled up tight. Oh! That'll be Henry in. Certainly not the best timing, but to both be into another carp on the first morning was such a good feeling. Just had a bite after dropping it. As Henry's about to pick the camera up, his rod's absolutely screamed off. Come on. Yes! Get in! Well, it was good and bad.
Why good and bad?
It was good for the action, but bad for the filming purposes.
I don't really care about the filming.
Yeah, well you don't, but I'm here to make a film as well. Come on,
Good,
lad.
isn't it?
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't think it's massive, but a nice mirror.
Nice.
Come on. Screamer that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
Absolutely churned.
God, they're really up for a feed, aren't they here? Smashing it.
New test bait, innit?
4 bites in it, that now.
4 bites, yeah. I think, provided we can stay awake, I think we've got a good chance of catching quite a few here. I feel like that catching a fish moving, for me is going to be the way to go.
It's a nice one, I think, though.
Yeah, it looks alright, doesn't it?
Double take action. Brace shot, that's a nice common.
That's a lovely common, Jacob.
That's a lovely common. Come on, lad. That's a lovely carp. Back of the net she goes. And that'll be a brace of 30s for Henry. Bosh.
Get in there!
Come on.
Oh, shit.
Yes, bro. Right.
That might be bigger than 30, mate.
Bigger than 30? Is that big, yeah?
Yeah, it could be.
Looks like it's got a big belly on it.
With a bent back.
Mate, your face is bitten bad.
Is it?
Is that what that is?
Where?
Yeah, mate, that's sore. You've got like lumps under your eye, mate. This madman was sleeping in shorts and a t-shirt under the stars with, and I tell you, the mosquitoes here are horrendous.
Yeah, so bad.
How wonky is that camera on your head, mate?
I did get running over.
I'm not looking forward to seeing that shot. Oh, you filmed it, did you?
Yeah, as I was running over.
Mate, me trying to set up a tripod playing that fish was horrendous. But yeah, we've got him in the net. Sick.
Gnarly one.
Oh, mate.
2 carp, this is the first one.
Ah, mosquito biting me. Sorry, mate, that's an unbelievable carp.
£34, I reckon. Before spawning it would have been
Up for 30, 40, mate. When I show you the footage back, it looks massive.
Is it that big?
If you said it was £45, honestly, it looks massive and it's so dark.
It's a proper dark one. Cool carp in there, real cool carp. Some pictures and then we've got
Get my £50 grassy out.
Oh god, that is gonna be bad.
That's gonna beat me up.
You just need to accept you're going to get soaked.
My first grass carp. And my first bite from this lake, it came at about, it was about 3:30, and it went diddy, diddy, diddy. And I went, no, not out there long, a bream, bream. Picked the rod up, felt a few head shakes, thought it was a bream, and when I mean I was dragging it, I thought it was a bream in a load of weed. Popped up in the margin, didn't have my head torch on. Like, that looks long, that's a carp. Got my head torch out the bivvy, and I was like, oh, at first I was like, oh, it's a grassy. And then it beasted me in the margin for about 20 minutes, as they do. They're weird fish, they don't fight at all. Then as soon as you put a net in front of them, they go absolutely mental. Netted it, and then realised that's actually massive. So, thought I'd keep him for a couple of hours until light, because I weighed him and he went 50 pounds. So, I know it's not as, we didn't come here for grassies, but...
Straight into the 50s club with them.
Public lake, 50 pound grassy. Is that how you meant to lift it?
It looks huge.
Mate, it's not 4 foot long.
It looks so big.
50 pound grass carp. Oh, it's horrible to hold. My first fish from the lake. And then this morning, got myself a nice 30 pound mirror as well. So get a few shots of this strange creature and show you what we came here to catch. Cool though, isn't it?
Very cool. Well done.
First grassy, 50 pounder. That'll do. My next one was a mega 20 pound mirror with lovely little withered fins and tail. The stock in this lake really is special.
Right, and to sign off the crazy morning we've had, I think it was 6 bites, 4 landed in total between me and Jacob, and this was the last one, taken moments after Jacob's mirror.
Mate, I reckon that's 40 pound before spawning.
Yeah, I think so too. It's real old.
Looks big.
Battered one in it. Oh, it feels big.
Almost looks like a canal carp a little bit, doesn't it? The head on it. Sick.
Old fish. Proper battered. A few stories to tell and all that. But yeah, not bad first morning.
A few hours kip and then...
I think that's the plan now. We need
Smash
to get some
out.
sleep, otherwise we're just not going to be fishing properly. So I'm going to go to one of my bait spots, flick the rods out, get some sleep, hopefully catch one more, and then rinse and repeat, I think.
Come on, lad.
Nice.
We've decided to weigh it because we think there's a possibility it might actually be 40 pound. Come on. Is it zeroed?
Yeah.
Mate. Oh!
Right.
It's like 30. It's coming on and off 40.
Well, it's 40 then.
No, it's like just under. It's like 39, bloody 13. Like, you let me lift and you film and what? It's like, I use digital scale, so it stops at a weight, so I'm not so good reading, but I reckon it's like 39 ounces away from 40 pound. Look.
I think that's bang on. Yeah, that's bang on.
40 pounder.
40 pounder.
Yes, bro.
Fucking hell, how big was that before spawning then?
It
must be like 46
I
pound.
reckon it's down about £5-6 minimum.
Yeah.
It's got no belly at all. I said it looked massive.
It felt really heavy, that's why I wanted to weigh it.
Yeah, mad. With the last of the carp slipped back, we aimed to catch up on a couple of hours sleep. Fortunately, it didn't last too long. Well, we're just having a sleep to catch up. Henry's come over and said, "Have you had anything?" I said, "I can't believe I've not." Beep! Maddest timing ever that was, wasn't
That
it?
was crazy, yeah.
that was genuinely mad timing, Eric.
There you go, still got him on.
Unfortunately, I've got a massive weed bed over my line in the margin, so I've got absolutely zero detail of what's going on out there, but it's still on, hopefully. Just as I was thinking how well the morning was going, the hook pulled. Let's just say it was better to mute this audio, as my choice of words weren't the most polite. To top it off, a group of lads had decided to swim out into the lake and walk around all over the bar. With this, I decided it was the best time to go off and do some exploring, checking out different marginal spots, big open bays, and I did actually find a few carp. But sadly, they were on Henry's side and I didn't want to poach him up, so I headed straight round to the corner spot. Upon arrival, I noticed the spot had got considerably bigger. This was such a good sign. I also noticed from this corner I could actually still fish the back of the bar, which meant I could get the best of both. I put a small handful of bait over the spot, then slowly lowered the rig into position. I then went slightly down the bank and began getting the second rod out. I drove the bait boat along the side of the rushes and onto the same spot at the back of the bar. That didn't take long, did it? Oh my god. Oh. Put the camera down. Just as I thought my luck was turning, I had another hook pull. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. The second one in a row. And with so many nice carp in this lake, you just don't want to be losing any. I'm not having much luck today, am I? Just went round there to check on my margin rod and this absolutely melted off. It's been in the water about 3 minutes. My lead hadn't dropped. I think the clip must have been jammed. It's fine. That's so annoying. I did get the rod back out, but the next hour or so passed by quietly. I hadn't seen any activity at all in the corner, which was really strange. I decided to reel in and just get both the rods back out onto the bar from base camp. Are you stray or what? Someone's not been feeding you, if you're not. It keeps falling over itself, poor thing. Can't even look at the way it's running. Safe to say that Henry hadn't had the best days angling either, chasing carp around to no avail. So we cooled off in the lake and tried to boost the morale.
This is carp fishing, Jacob. This is modern carp fishing. Fan on the go. About to cook a toaster.
Mate, how are you sat in shorts?
Because it's about 30 degrees.
No, but mate, what is it with my blood type? Look at
I've been getting loads of bites.
Mate, look at my arm, bro.
Yeah, look at my leg. I've got loads of them. Just get on with it.
No, but they're not.
Hardcore.
You're not getting lumps though.
Yeah,
I think.
Look.
Nah, they're doing nothing to you.
Mate, look.
Show me.
Boom,
Like, yeah, you got
boom,
one
boom,
there. Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
I couldn't sit in shorts, honest to God. I've been bitten about 18 times on this one arm.
Precious, I think.
Mate, look at that lump, look.
Hey,
Thank you.
I told you.
Mate, I actually need to get one of these.
I know you do.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Seriously, that is actually...
It's so good, isn't
Yeah,
it?
because last night I was sleeping on top of the cover and I was still hot. Right, enough of that. Whilst I was all set for the evening, Henry was getting rods out in the swim he'd caught one from that morning. His approach was to spend a few hours in each swim and then move on to the next baited area. Although it had worked so well for him on the first night, it didn't produce a single bite this time round. Meanwhile, I was woke from a good night's sleep to an absolute peeler on my right hand rod. It was becoming apparent that first light was definitely the bite time on this spot, and this one was pulling my arm off. Well, the video ran out of time, so it cut off just before I ended it. But I got it in the net. Nice long common. Fought like mad. Like literally couldn't get it in at all. I had a little one on the same rod a couple of hours ago, just before the sun came up. So get the rod back out and then go and see what Henry's up to and get some pictures. Come on. That's the morning I'd hoped for. As the sun rose, more and more carp began feeding on the bar. They were flanking and showing. The whole thing was clouded up. I tried my best to wait it out, but in the end, I just needed to get a rig out there. They seemed to be feeding slightly higher up the bar, so I dropped my rig in shallower water than I had been doing previously. It was so interesting watching the drone footage back and seeing how the carp were immediately more cautious after the rig went out. You could see them approaching the bait, then turning off at the last moment. They did eventually start moving towards the patch of bait, but seemed much more comfortable in the slightly deeper section of water, so I took the risk of reeling in and dropping it back into deeper water. I also switched from a bottom bait to a yellow pop-up, which I hoped would encourage a quick bite. It wasn't long before a few carp began moving back in, one of which looked like a real good one. At this point, I was just about to put another rod over the left-hand side of the bar to up my chances, but as the boat approached the spot, the big one that I'd seen drift in got absolutely nailed and the rod was off. The fish had ran way over the back of the bar, so I took my time and slowly teased it back this way. Once I got the fish on my side of the bar, it buried itself in a huge bed of weed in open water. I couldn't move it at all, so decided to give it some slack line in the hopes that it shakes itself free. Sadly, that didn't work, and if I'm honest, at this point I was pretty sure that the fish was actually gone and that my rig was stuck in a snag. I managed to play it for ages out on the bar, get it into open water, and now I get snagged up. So annoying. I always be sure to take my time and pull really gently just in case. This really was testament to the £20 bullet mono. I was adamant the whole time I was snagged up, and all of a sudden I felt a slight pull away and I was back into the carp. It's horrible when they get in the weed. Oh, it's a mirror, it's a mirror. Yes. Nice one, £30 that is. Come on. Oh yeah, that's big. Oh, that's a mega carp. That is a sick one. Big one as well. Definitely a 30. Do not come off now. I've got you all this way. Please. Get in! Good one. Good fish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at the state of this. Look at the state of this. This is an absolute cheese. Cheese o'clock. That's big. I can't believe it. It's weird because you had like 4 bites, didn't you, on the first night?
It's the margin spots, isn't it? Margin spots can die so quickly.
I reckon you'll get some on that snag later.
Yeah, but also like yesterday on the snag, I had rods there for the best part of the day into bite time and nothing. So
drop down.
We'll see what happens, but thankfully you're picking up the slack.
I've had 3 carp, lost 1. It's been kicking off this morning. I was getting, I'll show you the footage, I was getting like churned over.
Yeah.
They were just feeding off the back of the rig. I should have had like 2 more, but I reeled it in, put it back out again a bit
This
further
one's
out.
well nice.
Yeah, and
Nearer.
this one was the biggest one I could see out there. And then, yeah,
It's nice when that happens, isn't it? As opposed to
the biggest one.
£12 common.
Mate, the one I had I had one at about 3 AM, and no joke, it was £8. It was an £8 common. I'm gonna sit here. I think I got lucky with letting you draw first because you're having to run round, and I'm having a nice.
I was thinking that last night as I was laying there. I was like, I wish I just took that back leg and just bait boat spots.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
That would have been an absolute dream.
It's the first time I've ever actually fished a whole session using like a boat. And to be fair, in this heat, I don't want to be doing what you're having to do, running around.
Yeah,
it's horrendous.
It's hard work. And first night it was great because you got the rewards, but
Yeah.
now,
You're not catching, it's annoying. You'll
thank
get
God
on.
I've got this.
I'm pretty
That's all I'm going to say. Thank God I've got
The
this.
fan. I'm pretty sure you get one, mate. Right, these have been in the net and sling a few hours, mate, so let's get them out.
Let's get 'em done.
The second one from last night. Well, this one was actually this morning. Another lovely common. Every single fish seems to be really pristine, really nice strain of carp in this lake. Don't know how big it is, mid-20 probably. Let's get some pictures, slip it back, because I've got an absolutely mega one to show you. Upper 30 mirror, which is what I was hoping for, 30 pounder. But you're not complaining catching them, that's for sure. Oh mate, look at that. Such cool fish.
Proper Belgian one, this one.
Look at that, man. Silky smooth fish that is.
I think Gaz would approve of this one, don't you?
And his dorsal lock.
Oh, my word.
It's just carpy, innit? It's hell that.
Subsurface as anything.
Look at the head.
Get him in the mag.
That's a sick carp. Really cool. Looks wise. That's about as good as they're gonna get. I'm gonna say it. Looks like the dustbin from Yateley. What do you reckon, Henry?
Big claim,
Big
that.
claim. What's it look like?
Big
on camera? Does it
claim.
look rubbish?
It looks nice. I wouldn't quite say you're looking like Tell with the dustbin.
No, well I don't look like Tell, do I? Shape-wise and fins and all that, not a million miles away, is it?
Yeah, okay.
In come the comments.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The Belgian dustbin.
let's not compare it. It's a sick carp. Big sloped head, little withered fins, nice sort of leathery one with a few scales along the top. And a big one as well, £36, probably a 40 a couple of weeks ago before spawning. That is why we came to Belgium. Thank you, Mr. Lennon.
No worries.
Right, I'm gonna go bed, mate. Absolutely knackered. I'm boiling hot. Bitten to death by mosquitoes. As the day progressed, it got warmer and warmer, and with me being set on sticking it out on the bar, I opened up the vents on the bivvy and put my feet up. The complete opposite of what Henry was doing, moving round from lake to lake, trying his very best to nick an opportunity. Bite you know. Little mole, I've never seen a mole running around like that.
He's lost, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to find another hole, isn't it? But there ain't none. With me being set on the bar swim for the last 24 hours, I suggested that Henry should spend the last night fishing my set of lakes. Not only was his side proving tricky, but I'd also seen a lot of carp in the bay next to my rake spot. He checked it out for himself and decided that it was a good move. You'll have fun getting them through this weed.
Got him.
Size 5 claw.
Size 5 claws.
Come on. His plan of attack was to use the bushwhacker and drop some rigs in the clear areas off the back of the weed beds. I left him to it and headed back into base camp, where I was going to freshen up all my rigs and get my rods out for the final night. That's what I came to see. You going in? He's there, I can see his mouth going, look. Imagine it's that little £7 koi. Doo-dum, doo-dum.
There's a frog on it, look, there's a frog on the back of it.
On the fish? Off goes the froggy.
Oh, he's tiny.
No.
He's tiny.
No.
I got soaking wet for a 4-pounder.
No. That's literally last year's spawn. That is some sore luck. Can't really see.
Well, the future looks bright.
Oh my god.
Thank you, mate.
You've literally had last year's spawn. Well, thanks for making me come over, mate. Well worth it.
No worries. NBC, never been caught.
Yeah, never been caught.
Okay.
Special carp.
That's what you go for, the unknown. Ah!
Boys, you won't believe what he's just had. He's just had an absolute unbelievable fish.
Was he?
Yeah, come and have a look, man. I'm chatting shit. Do you know what he's just had? Mate, I've just gone all the way round there. I've stood with him for 10 minutes watching him pull this humongous weed bed in. £4 mirror.
You're messing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Literally like just last year's stock, probably, last year's spawn. That's a proper good on that. Oh. Good fish, that. Really good fish. Yes! Come on! Buzzing. Not had anything on the bar, can't believe it, they just never moved in. Heard one down here in this corner. This is where Henry's had one on the first morning, I believe. And yeah, it's absolutely tore off. What have we got here then? Oh yeah, lovely fish. Big old crusty mirror. Get in. Is this the look of a Oh, I thought that was the look of a man with confidence. What happened? You couldn't have blanked in there.
5 bites.
Oh!
3 carp. All below £5. £5 eel.
A £5
The
eel?
biggest fish I caught last night was an eel. It was huge.
No.
And then I lost a good one.
No.
And then some English guys set up just to the right of me and kind of cut me off a little bit. So, yeah, I've had a terrible time basically. What about you? Come on, have we got an ending?
Have we got an ending? I almost don't want to tell you.
Why?
So, I lost. So let's go chronological order. Nothing through the night, and I heard loads of fish showing in the corner where you've been baiting and fishing, and seeing as though you moved onto my lake and I thought I was giving you a flyer, I moved a rod and put it on
And you
there,
caught one.
and I've caught a £30 mirror.
I can see why you want me to move now. It's so adamant. Oh, move, you have to move. Yeah, so you can fish my spot.
That looks like a setup, but I promise you,
Yeah, looks
I
like
reckon
it.
if them English guys didn't set up on your right, because where they were fishing on your right was where all the carp were, and we were hoping they were going to move into your water in the morning. So I think basically you would have had probably 10 fish if they didn't turn up. How many have they had?
5 or 6.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're like 20 yards. They put their rod 20 yards behind, and they're in that weed bed, and they were coming down along that path. They're just hitting their rod first. Yeah.
See, I didn't set you up, I promise. I just had one by accident on your spot.
So happy for you.
And then I lost one on the bar. So, yeah, it's been, well, it's not been difficult for me. I think, seeing as though you picked first, I've been quite lucky in that I've had a swim that's done bites. And
You've done well.
You've ran round like a madman.
Like an absolute madman.
And you've been unlucky.
The problem was it started so well, and I was like, right, this is what I'm going to do. Change for every 2 hours, and then it's just killed me.
Let's just round up quickly here before we get my fish out. We massively underplayed the common you caught by saying, looks like an half decent one, that.
It's like the
actually,
second biggest fish
it was
in the lake.
40 pounds spawned out.
It's the second biggest fish in the lake.
Second biggest carp in the lakes that Henry were fishing, out of like 5 lakes.
Yeah.
So you have had one of the big ones once again, as you do. So we've had a good trip, mate. I've enjoyed it.
I feel defeated though. I wish that the first 24 hours happened as well as 24 hours.
And you had them 4, yeah, true.
But it is what it is.
Is what it is.
Let's see your lovely carp, then hit the road, and then we'll see the viewers again probably in about a month's time when we go out again, hopefully.
Yeah, that's it. Ideally, when you've got a banger, you do pictures on the map first on the bank, but terrible lighting and it's boiling hot, so I'm taking a risk. How's about that for the last one of the trip? 30-pounder. Oh!
Just saved him.
Just saved it. Have you got enough video there?
I think so.
Do you want one more lift?
Let's have another lift.
Oh, it's still cold, that water. Well, thanks for bringing me, Henry.
No worries.
I've really enjoyed it. And once again, some really, really nice carp. I think I'll be coming back to Belgium. Where are we off to next? We have a big trip to France, public lakes.
France, I think. Netherlands, we could do the Netherlands.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's do it.
There we go. Nice one, mate. Oh yeah. Mine and Henry's next adventure was back to France, but this time we were off to the beautiful French Alps. It was a long drive from Calais, however the thought of catching monster carp surrounded by the picturesque mountain range had us both super excited. We arrived a few hours before sunset, parked up the van and went for a mooch. We've made it to the Alps, but we got here in the nick of time. It's past 8 o'clock, we've got about an hour and a half before sunset. Neither of us know anything about the lake. We don't even know if you're allowed to fish the lake. We've been told you can, but it doesn't match the description, and we think maybe, we reckon that there might be some misinformation going on. So we're currently going through a forest, absolutely beautiful place. The mountains surrounding the lake, and the lake itself looks incredible, but the access looks not great, and Henry thinks he's seen a sign that says no public access at all, so we're gonna have a quick look and yeah, see what the crack is. After doing a full lap, we realised, as incredible as it looked, it wasn't the venue we were looking for. So we followed the map through the forest until eventually finding the lake.
This is us, baby.
Come on! Look at that backdrop! That's absolutely incredible. Not only did it look better than we'd imagined, but we also saw fish showing. With that, Henry rushed off to pick up the gate key, and we made our way round to the area we'd seen the activity. By this point, it was dark, so we began setting up base camp and mixing all the bait we'd need for the night. Luckily, boats were permitted on this lake, so we were able to get all the rods out in the zone without too much disturbance. Come on.
First one, Jakob.
Come on, lad. Good in?
That's a 30.
30 pounder?
I think, well,
Mate, that was some fight.
beast to me, didn't it?
It was only a few hours from sunrise, so we put the fish in a retainer to have a better look at it in the daylight. Rise and shine. Unfortunately, that was the only one of the night, but considering we got here in the dark, I'm glad that one of us has managed to winkle one out.
Go. First one of the trip. It's going to go again. That's first of the trip, about 32 pounds.
Oh, that'll be no pictures. Oh my god. We need to learn to stop doing bloody water shots
I
for carp.
did say to do it on the side there. No, it's dappled line.
Mate, I got a little bit of footage of it. You'll be alright, you'll catch much nicer ones and bigger
I
ones
hope
than that.
so.
Apart from being given the location, the nice thing about this trip was we knew nothing about the lake or the stock, which made it not only more of a challenge, but also more exciting. There could be monstrous carp in this lake, and we couldn't wait to see how the rest of the session would play out. As bite time came to a close, it was time to get the rods back out fresh. We decided between us to heavily bait the area we'd seen those carp showing the previous evening. The lake was big, so we wanted to give the fish a reason to keep returning to this area. I also put a rod down to my right on a lovely little marginal spot, just to try and nick a bonus fish or two. With the days being super hot, we didn't really expect too much action, so we chilled out and got some work done whilst waiting for the evening period to come round. Sometimes fishing can be hard work and stressful, but then you get days like this, relaxing in the warmth of the French Alps, cooling off in the lake, just enjoying the lovely scenery. We're coming to that time. It's about half an hour, 45 minutes away from the time where we turned up over there yesterday and saw all the carp showing in this area. We've got about 15 kilo of bait out there. The only negative thus far is we haven't seen anything yet, and an angler has just turned up down the bank and put 4 rods in open water down there, which could mean that if the fish have been at that end, they're going to hit his bait first, and it might take them a little bit longer to get to us. But you never know. They might already be in this area. We've not seen anything show on the whole lake all day, have we really?
It's been very, very quiet.
Pretty quiet.
Very, very quiet.
Both done a bit of work today, had a bit of a nap, almost waiting for this evening period. So all we can do now is hope to see a load of carp start sloshing out over that bait. Oh no. Oh no, this feels like a catfish. Oh, it feels like a catfish. Yeah, it is a catfish. I'm sure of it. I hope not, but... Sadly, after all that, the fish went through a snag and cut me off. And that was the only bite of the night. Henry decided he was going to spend the day checking out some of the other lakes in the area. After walking a few miles, he stumbled across this lovely little lake. Again, with no information, he hoped he could quickly put the pieces together and get amongst some fish. In true Henry fashion, he left no stone unturned in giving himself the best chance of catching one, swimming his rigs out and hand placing them in an area he'd seen some carp, and it wasn't long until I'd received the call that he'd gone and caught one. Blimey, that's a bit of a walk, innit, Barry? I was walking thinking, God, how far's he gone?
We got one.
Good, and yeah?
Yeah, it's an upper 30, I reckon.
Good man.
Pounder.
Interrupted me from my evening swim as well.
I couldn't believe it. I felt your phone buzzing.
But the timing, right? I sat there all day, and then I just voice noted you saying, I'm just going for a swim for half an hour, so I won't be on my phone. He catches one 2 minutes after. And
I was chatting to the Guard the Pesh guy, and I felt my phone buzz for the first time as I got the bite.
That's mental.
Not bad for a little stalking mission. Left Jacob, he's done a bit of work, minding the rods, went for a walk, very long walk, sweating out, carrying all the gear, stepped in a wasp nest, really didn't think it was going to happen. And then thankfully, Rod just pulled up and got this mid-30, dark, Alpine carp. We'll take that.
It's a lovely one, mate.
Sick carp, isn't he?
I think it's big as well, that, like you say.
It feels alright.
Mid to upper 30, isn't it?
Maybe might be a little bit bigger than mid-30, but yeah.
Hopefully they turn up on us tonight, mate.
Hopefully
because
tonight we catch a few, then tomorrow you can come stalking, I'll watch the rods, it's my turn.
Yeah. Looks massive in the edge. Good man, Henry. Save the day.
I also think there could be a little shop over there where we can get some snacks.
I'd like to think so, because we're running out of food and I've been craving some sour sweets.
Let's go try and find some sour sweets.
Come on then. Unfortunately, the snack shop was closed, so we headed straight back to base camp and began getting the rigs prepped and rods back out on the spots. Come on, please be a carp. We got the GoPro on it now. Oh, please be a carp. Just about to get in bed, and the rod has absolutely screamed off. My receiver was outside, so I thought it was Henry's rod. I was sitting in there getting my camera ready, just chilling for ages. Henry's going, Jacob, Jacob. I was scared it was going to be a catfish, but it doesn't feel like a catfish. It feels like a very heavy carp.
Come on.
Don't be a 50-pound grass carp.
You got one.
Right, that fought like mad. That fought like mental. First one from the Alps.
Get in there.
Come on. Mid-30, innit?
Yeah.
As nice as it has been to see this one in the daytime, it's only 10:30, 11 o'clock, so I'm not going to bother with pictures, just lift him out for a quick video. I'm sure, well, I'm hoping we're going to get some more quickly before he swims off. There we go, my first carp from the Alps. That's a wet camera, I reckon, Henry.
I think so too.
Oh,
Get him back.
get him back. You've seen it, yeah?
Yeah, we got him.
Fought like an absolute Goliath. See you later, mate. I got the rod back out, but once again, that was the only bite of the night. This lake was proving way more tricky than we'd anticipated. As the sun began to rise, it was my turn to venture off and spend a day on the smaller lake. The bulk of the fish seemed to be cruising in open water, which gave me a good amount of time to get the trap set around the snags. Due to overhanging trees, swimming the rigs out was going to be the only option. Taking Henry's advice, I swam across to the edge of the sunken tree line and prepared to drop the rigs.
Right, rig one. No. Now Henry says he just drops it, but I'm gonna try. Feel it down with some super carpy. Come on. That's it. That's one. Not a bad view to swim back to, is it? Look at them mountains. Beautiful.
It wasn't long until a few fish turned up and began feeding. You could see them making their way down the shelf, which meant it was only a matter of time before one got hooked.
No! No, it's come off! For sake.
With the disturbance pushing the fish back into open water, I quickly swam that rig back out. Whilst I was hoping to get another opportunity, Henry was having fun back at base camp.
I think I might be into a catfish here. So a big drop back, and that is churning. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Oh my god. Right, better concentrate on this. Look at that. Oh, for fuck's sake. On the speedboat's coming. Not what we need. Right, let me sort this out.
An hour or so later, I had a single bleep, which I assumed was a liner, but it was in fact a bite, and the fish had already kited past the snag and cut me off. This day really wasn't going to plan. Henry was checking he could still count to 10. Yeah, it wasn't looking good. Jokes aside, he'd found another little lake and managed to get a few fish feeding, but that also resulted in nothing. Once the man and his 37 dogs had gone, he decided to pack everything up and come and join me on the small lake. This seemed like our best chance of catching. The fish tended to shoal up in the middle of the lake and then make their way into the margins. With my traps already set, Henry began swimming his rigs out on the other side of the lake, this time actually swimming to the bottom of the lake with goggles on and accurately hand placing his rigs. Just after getting those two rods out, he also noticed some carp milling around in his near margin.
So I've been able to get a little margin spot going. It was hard work, literally pinch your hemp, pinch your target slush every now and then. Eventually, I managed to get a nice little bed down, and the carp came in, 40 pound I reckon, came in, tipped up, dropped down, and he's on the spot. So I'm going to reel my two rods in and just stalk out the edge. Come on, please.
Come on!
He ain't a big one.
No?
I've seen some huge ones coming in today. Look at him.
There's a little one.
There's a little one.
Ah,
I've been getting done.
been getting spat out.
Well, I just don't think they've got the hook though.
A bite's a bite, it's been tough.
It's been extremely tough.
Imagine if you're up to 50 in here. Like playing it and that'd be unreal, wouldn't it?
Fun, that's for sure. Ooh.
Well, it's not the monster, mate,
it's
but
nice.
It's
I'm
been
glad I
hard,
caught
mate.
one, but
It's been hard, so well done.
I've been watching carp feed on my spot for the past 3 hours. Couldn't buy a bite. Eventually, I just had to change over the rig, make it shorter, change the hook bait, and I got a bite. But it wasn't the 50-pounder I saw feeding there, or even one of the 40s.
Or
Not
30s.
even one of the 30s.
Or 20s. Or 15s.
It's a 10. Lovely little carp, but God, I wish it was one of the big ones. I just had 5 come in, all feeding, hard, and this was the smallest one. This is the one that got hooked. But it's been really cool. It's been so cool to watch him feed. It's been really worrying, and it makes you realise how much you do get done by fish when you're out fishing where you can't see them, but so cool nonetheless.
He got his rod straight back out amongst the snags, which quickly resulted in a brace of lovely commons. A serious bit of angling from Henry. Well, that was the most anticlimactic ending to a film ever, and probably the worst European trip so far. Well, not probably, definitely the worst European trip so far. So much anticipation. We thought we were going to catch so many carp. Wasted obviously 2 days on that first lake. And then obviously when it should have come good, I just kept losing carp. Henry did well yesterday, caught 3. Just got unlucky with the size, and then we both blanked last night. I mean, I suppose you can't win them all. This film will still be going out, despite me saying to Henry, oh, it's not a film, we've not caught enough. And he made a good point in saying that not every session you're catching loads of carp. So I hope you've enjoyed it and taken something from it, despite not having caught loads. But unfortunately, now we've got a 10-hour trip back to London. What do you reckon to that? Bit better than central London, isn't it? We're back again, and this is one of our final escaping Londons. But I don't say that in a sad way, because we're still going to be going to Europe, we're still going to be doing loads of adventures, just the end of this exact series. Of course, I can't be out doing it without Mr. Lennon.
Hello everyone, how are we doing?
And once again, he's brought me to a picturesque, incredibly beautiful lake in the Alps. We got here last night, we quickly got some rods out. We haven't caught anything yet, however, we woke up this morning to an absolutely incredible view. We're switched on, we're set up, we're going to be watching the water and just trying to catch as many carp as possible. Come on, Henry, 50-pounders galore.
Yeah, let's do it.
Once bite time had passed, we decided to go out in the boat and explore the lake in more detail. We started off by using the deeper to find features such as bars or big clear spots. Once we'd found a good looking area, we lowered down an underwater camera to double check it was clear. Working as a team, we managed to locate a few big cleaned off areas surrounded by weed. Yeah, that's a spot, isn't it?
That's a spot, boy.
That's a spot. We marked those as spots on the deeper app and then dropped H blocks a few rod lengths behind them. These spots were out in the main bowl of the lake, so we decided to put a fair bit of bait out in the hopes of triggering a feeding response.
But reckon.
Carl and Alex hat, yeah?
Don't worry about it.
Come on.
Supporting the channels.
Come on.
Supporting the smaller guy out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, we're gonna support.
Doing you a favour here,
yeah,
Carl.
we're supporting the up and comers, the small channels out there that need the promo.
I'm helping the smaller names in the game.
Yeah. Once we'd had some lunch, it was time for me to get back in the boat and locate some spots for the rest of my rods.
Nice.
Nice and mobile, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This is the clearest lake I've ever fished. I reckon I'm literally identifying small objects in 20 foot of water on the bottom. And although the guy couldn't speak a single word of English, I tried my best to communicate with him this morning. And I went, this, middle, bottom, and he pointed bottom. So I think they had 7 fish, is what his hand gestures gave me. So I'm going to try my best to find the bottom of the shelf without having to use the echo, just literally looking, because I can still see the bottom. I think this is going to be game on, Henry, to be honest. This is a good lake, Henry. Once again, oh, carp, big carp, mate, that was big. Yeah, big, that was massive. That was a 40-pound mirror, huge, come from here. Just as I was about to get a rod out where I'd seen that fish, Henry's receiver went into meltdown.
That's definitely not a 3-pounder. Jacket, go!
I can't go any faster.
You can!
I'm not an Olympic rower.
Clearly.
Is it on? Always happens when you're in the boat, doesn't it? Is that on the big clear spot?
Yeah.
Well, I broke a sweat now.
Good rowing.
Fish on?
Fish on.
Carp?
Yeah, I don't know where my H block's gone, which I'm a bit worried about.
It's not them boys, is it?
I'm worried it's taken off my H block, which is a bit annoying.
Carp. Come on.
With the lake being quite weedy, we took no chances and went straight out in the boat. We were so excited to be into our first carp, and it was such a good sign that one of those clear areas had already produced a bite.
So Henry put a H block out when he marked the clean spot in between the weed, and the fish has gone round the H block. So not only is he pulling in a 48-pound mirror carp, he's also got 2 massive leads attached to the end of it. Oh, come on, mate. Look at that backdrop. This is why we do it. It's a linear. It's a linear. It's a linear. No way. We've got a lin.
I'm gonna catch it. The H blocks come off.
Oh yeah, look at the state of it. Look.
Yeah, the citrus hanging out his mouth.
And we go dum dum to the dum.
He's in the net. Dun, dun.
Come on. Yes, lad. Come on.
First blood.
Well done.
Come on.
There was a good chance that wasn't the only carp feeding on the spot, so Henry wasted no time in getting his rod straight back out. Meanwhile, I was back out in the boat searching for a carpy marginal spot.
Look at that snag. That is incredible. That is so sick. Can imagine that would be a bit of a spot in the spring.
I managed to locate a really nice spot close to where I'd seen that carp an hour or so previous. I lowered a trap with just a handful of bait over it, and then it was time to get back to the bank and photograph Henry's fish.
He looks nice.
Yeah?
Even through the sling, you see them big old scales up there.
You thought it was a common, didn't you?
I did.
And then you went, it's a linear!
It's a linear!
You did a proper over dramatic YouTuber. It's a linear!
It's a linear! I was just well excited.
Like you've been trying to target this fish for 14 years.
Ooh.
Banger.
Banger.
Go on.
You ready? Look at that.
Not bad for the first one, that.
Cool little carp, innit?
Lovely, mate.
Yeah, we'll definitely take that. First one. Not even been here 24 hours. Plenty more to come, I think. Yeah, happy days.
How big did they go in here? Mid 50?
Mid 50, yeah.
Mid 20, that one?
Yeah,
so
like that.
More than twice the size?
Don't mind it.
Yeah. Sick. Well done, mate.
Are we going to tell them about the competition as well?
Oh, me and Henry have got a competition on the go. You know he's always a fast starter. So far of our 5 trips, the tally is
5-5.
5-5. So it's a point for the most fish and a point for the biggest. And total, at the total,
The score on the board is 5-5.
So someone's going to win this 7-5, or it's going to be a 6-6 draw.
Yeah, so at the moment, Henry's 6-5. I better get on with it.
No, 7-5. It's the biggest and the most.
It's the biggest and the most. So he's
Come on, in the lead!
It's a lot. There's a lot on this. We're what's the bet? £1,000 win. I'll give you a tenner if you win.
Tenner, yeah, right, we'll do a tenner.
Well done, mate. Let's
Cheers,
get these
man.
other rods sorted out.
As the sun began to set, I ventured off in the boat for the last time to try and locate the third and final spot.
It's the first time I use one of these cameras. You can see, look. I'm using the deeper for the depth and to mark the spot. I'm putting the underwater camera down. You can see that there's so much weed, very low lying weed, but stuff that you wouldn't really want to be fishing over the top of on a bottom bait. So just the difference between dropping it there, and there we go, you can see, look, and there's some of my bait that I've dropped out. So where I've dropped the bait is exactly the spot I want to be dropping the rig, or if not slightly to the left. Sometimes these little differences won't be the difference between catching and not, but I think why not be bang on if you can. That'll be a bite there. Go on, hit it, son. I was already filming. I told Henry he needs to give me 2 seconds when his rod goes. That's why he stood there like a little schoolboy.
I was doing so well behaved there, wasn't I?
You literally stopped before hitting it. I was like, no, I'm already filming. Go on. You don't think it's a carp? No, but mate, absolutely peeled off. That can't be a blooming roach bream eyed hybrid, whatever you think it is. Yeah, we caught a few weird fish last night. It looked like a rudd and a chub crossed. It must have been about 3-4 pound. And Henry reckons he's got one of them on, but given the take, I don't think so. I just reckon you've got a 25 pound zip linear swimming towards you. Same one you've just caught.
I don't know, man.
Whatever nuisance species it was, it eventually fell off. But luckily for Henry, it wasn't long until he was in again.
Oh yeah. Henry strikes again.
We're in.
Definitely a carp.
Yeah, we might need to get in the boat.
Weeded up.
Yeah. Can you get the boat round?
Yeah, I'll grab it for you.
How did it go again?
I'm half asleep. It's dum dum da da dum. Dun, dun, da, da, da. Oh god. It's one for naught. Oh mate. There we go. Look at that. Cool them bubbles, mate. Yeah, that's a good one, mate. Without a doubt, that's a good one. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Go on, lift the net. Go on. Go on. Go on. Yes, bro. Yes. Oh, mate. That's a 40 pounder.
Is it?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Ka-ching.
All day long.
Dun, 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 dun.
Only half an hour or so after Henry catching that 40 pounder, and my rod was away.
Woo. Come on. Yes. Oh, that's incredible. Look at that. Yeah, perfect. A couple of boilies over the top of that. Sweet. Oh! Ah. It's not a nuisance fish, is it? No, you're in, I think. Could be a carp, that, mate. It's hard to tell. It's on a tight line. Yeah, it's a carp, I think. I reckon that's a carp. How many?
Just one more.
One more fish. How big? Shut up! 50? How big?
54.
Isn't that the big one? I thought you said
Gotta be.
I thought you said the biggest was mid-50s.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's down there.
No.
Oh, that rod's in.
Have you been serious? Yeah. Shut up. He has an all. Henry, you absolute legend of a man. That spot's going off for you, innit? One's just shown near my hate spot that I've just dropped out. That'll do.
No, my big one yesterday. The big one I thought was one of them little hide thing again.
Was it a weird bite?
Yeah, and I went out so slow to it.
Because you're fishing long, innit, I guess. Probably a bit of a drop back.
Bloody hell. Jesus.
And that was another carp in the back of the net for Henry. With it being a smaller one, he let it go and got back to the bank, ready to get out the beast that he'd caught during the night.
What a busy night we had. Starting off with a mid-40 for me. What a carp. Check that out.
Mate, that looks humongous.
Does it look good?
Looks humongous.
Yeah, really happy with this one. Little personal milestone as well. It's my 50th ever £40 plus carp. So
Ooh.
little achievement.
Sliding that one in quietly.
Yeah, a little stat man. But yeah, really happy. Started off quite a hectic night. We've not really slept. Had lots of action. Caught plenty of carp. And would you believe it? We've caught one even bigger.
Mate, I can't believe you caught a mid-50.
It's mad. You've not seen it, have you?
No, I've not even seen it. That's good enough, mate. 40. What is it? 44?
44, yeah. Yeah,
Sick,
really cool
bro.
carp, isn't it?
Yeah, nice shape as
one.
well. Well done, mate. Smashed it.
Oh.
There we go. Finally, I've had a bite. Henry's absolutely smashing it. 4 fish. And not only has he had 4 fish, he's had one of the biggest fish in the lake. Nearly £55, which means it's looking like he's going to win the overall series here. He's going to steal 2 points right at the death. But good angling from him. And this bite was taken on my rod that's closest to the spot he's had 3 bites from. So I think the fish are localised in that area. I'm still confident we've got 1 night left. Hopefully I can get myself a big one as well. I'm certainly not complaining, not in this weather. It's great to be out.
Once bite time had passed, I decided to give my rods a freshen up and replace all the rigs.
Bang on.
Just as we were about to photograph Henry's 50, I had an absolute peeler.
Oh, just about to do Henry's fish. Oh, absolute screamer. Oh. Yes! I literally said this morning, doesn't feel right that other rod's not gone. Re-dropped it, fresh bit of bait. As I was rowing back, one went behind the H block. Oh, come on. Mate, it literally ran the whole time I was running down. When I picked the rod up, it didn't stop for about 30-40 yards.
Big one.
This fish just didn't seem to want to stop, so I went out in the boat to get on top of it.
Oh. Big carp.
I think it could be a big carp.
Don't think it's going to beat yours, is it? But
You never know.
worse things have happened at sea.
What does that mean in relation to this?
Well, worse things than Henry losing, because I know you don't like to lose.
Oh right, oh is that what it is?
Yeah, do you like that one?
Good save.
Yeah, innit?
Spun it on me somehow.
Yeah.
You just saying wrong.
Yeah.
I'm an
Wrong
idiot.
saying, but then I turn it against you. You can't take a loss, you're horrible. I'm spinning around, move out of my way. I know I'm feeling it because this is a 50. I'm bringing it up. Henry's getting the quivers because he thinks I might be beating his PB.
You think you're going to beat my PB? I think it's going to be a scrappy little £20 common.
Impossible. If this is £20 common. Ooh, what bet do I go for here? If this is a £20 common, I'll give you £200.
Right.
Yeah? And if it's bigger than your 54, you've got to give me £200.
No.
Oh, he's cracking, see? Come on, mate. You've had enough now. Surely. No, no.
It's unbelievable. No,
That's big,
that's
mate.
a big one, mate.
Oh my word, that's monstrous. That is monstrous, mate. That could be as big as yours. Netting, that is. The dodgy netting. Got it?
Yeah. It just about got that.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. 46 and a half.
Oh, that's madness. That looks humongous, doesn't it? Look. I had a £46 common in the UK 2 months ago. It didn't look that big.
Yeah, it does look big. But maybe its stomach's a bit empty. No, don't know.
Anyway,
Anyway, it's a mega
still
car.
a £46 pounder, but I can't believe it's nearly, well, it's £8 smaller than yours. What's yours going to look like?
It's going to look like, it's going to look like victory is what it's going to look like.
I better start catching more, mate.
You
I need
better,
to do
that's
you on,
your
I
only
need to
option
do
then.
you on numbers. What you on 4?
Four,
and I'm
yeah.
on 2, so I better get on with it.
You ain't got long.
And that's it now, mate. I'm going to put maggots on. I'm after the cricket back commons. Right, just about to get the rods back out, and I realised that we haven't really talked about bait or rigs or anything. We've just been catching, so I'm not going to bore you, but tiger nut slush, that's already gone in there. I was using whole tigers as well. I'll probably go and put a few of those in, but we've used so much bait we're starting to run out. And then just to hold the fish in the swim for longer, we've got small seed mix as well, which I'm being quite generous with. As you can see, there's quite a bit of that in there. And then the main bulk of the mix, the new citrus test bait. Now, you'll be familiar with citrus as it used to come in bright pink. Obviously, as you can tell, the colour's different. However, that's not the only thing. The base mix is slightly different too, and it's made to be now more digestible. So it was already a good winter bait, but it was a pungent one that would get you quick bites. Now it's something the carp can eat a lot of, and yeah, as you can see, it's working really well. We've both caught fish. Henry's put out loads of boilie. I have put a bit more of a mix of tigers and stuff, and we're both catching, so it goes without saying the boilie's definitely working. Oh mate,
Whoa, they're heavy.
that's out of hand.
Absolute mammoth of a carp. Yeah, I can't quite believe we caught one this big. I was blown away with the 20 kilo fish. And then to catch one 10 pound bigger.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you told me the biggest fish in here was mid-50.
Oh.
And you've caught it. There you go.
Here's one.
It's huge. It's not just
massive,
big,
isn't it?
it's really cool, mate. It's got a proper sloped head on it.
It's heavy. It's
Yeah,
really heavy.
it looks heavy.
But yeah, this new, trying out the new citrus, I think the test is going pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, wicked, I'm so happy with that. Yeah, don't really know what else to say other than check out my massive carp.
Well done, mate. Very good angling, as per. Although it's not as big as I thought it was, if you'd told me I was going to catch an upper 40 on this trip, that would have been made up. And other than the little bit of fungus and the slightly popped rib, scale wise, it's a pretty immaculate common. Probably one of the best fights I've ever had. As you saw, just kept on beasting me. Took about 60 yards on the take. What a place, what a trip. £50 of a Henry, upper 40 for me. Does it get much better? Literally just put my common back. The rod's gone again.
They're boshing, they're feeding, we're catching.
Just sat down from carnage, sorted everything out. We said before we get the rod back out, because I've still got a rod that's not out, we'll have some food. We've not had breakfast or anything. Big drop back on the rod and we're in again. Dun 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 dun. That's another bite though. What's that, Henry? I'm creeping.
4-3.
4-3. I need to get more numbers than you because I don't think I'm going to get one over 55 pounds.
No, I don't think you are.
It's a step in the right direction. Before getting that rod back out, we had some lunch and did some rig prep for the remainder of the session. I kept things really simple and used my usual slip D multi with a snowman presentation. A 20mm cultured hook bait as the bottom bait and a 15mm yellow citrus pop-up as the topper. Really simple but incredibly effective. With the rods all back out, we chilled in our bivvies and waited for the next spell of action. Oh, I'm absolutely knackered, mate. It's 5 o'clock. I think I'm going to go to bed, to be honest.
I've been napping all day after the fish, so
yeah, I need to go to bed and wake me up if you get one.
Yep.
Sweet. See you in the night.
Let's go.
Good luck. The final night. A few hours before sunrise, and the bites began to start. Yep. Fish on. Are you worth keeping for a few hours till the morning? Nah. Henry's rod was the next to go, and this one was certainly no 20-pounder. Oh, just had Henry wake me up. Go on, what you got?
Right, you ready?
Oh, just a mere 52.5 pounder. You're taking the mick.
Come
mate.
on.
Come on, lads.
Back-to-back 50s,
Not brace of 50s. You're killing it. Is it a mirror again?
Yeah. Big mirror.
No way,
Real
bro.
big mirror. I was worried it's the same one. It's the same shape and everything, but it doesn't have the scales.
Nah, that one's a bit more fat, I think.
Yeah, massive. Big battle. Huge battle.
And the bites didn't stop there. The bite alarms were going into meltdown almost every hour. That'll be a bite, mate. Ooh. Since the big common, I seemed to be catching smaller ones. But I didn't mind playing a numbers game, as there was always a chance of a good one popping up. I did switch over to boilies only, meaning that bites would come quicker as there was way less food items in the swim. It's safe to say, it worked. Oh no! I was just about to say, I just put that rod out after having one. It went literally 5 minutes after getting back. It's come off. My first hook pull. Ah, damn it.
There we go. Smaller one on last night's brace. Got a real special one to show you. I thought I'd keep this one. I'll look for a couple of pictures as well. Really nice clean carp there, aren't they?
Yeah, I was going to say, they all look pretty immaculate. Yeah. Mouths are all in good nick as well. Well done, mate.
Cheers.
And on that note, actually, while you're holding it, the scores on the doors as it stands is 6 fish each.
Yep.
Henry having the biggest one. So that means Henry's taking one of the points, which puts him 1 point ahead. And given that I've just had a hook pull,
yeah, I can't believe
that would have been a draw 6 episodes into the series. But unfortunately, unless I get a bite now in the next half an hour during pack down, Henry's stolen it by 1 point.
Deservedly so, I'd
Deservedly
say.
so, yeah.
Good, I didn't think you'd agree to that.
Good angling, to be fair.
Cheers.
I'm happy to concede to your good angling. If you were a total noddy, I'd probably be a bit annoyed. But
No, I think it's going to be a draw. I think you're going to get one more.
You reckon I'll get one more screamer?
Yeah, I think so. Look at that, citrus, tigers, and on the bait there.
look at the size of the belly on that thing, mate.
Big dog. Told you I had another big one.
That's huge.
They look massive.
Mate, the shape of it, it's because it's really short, mate, and it's just got huge belly. Look at the size of the belly on the thing, look.
It's mad, isn't it?
Go on, let's have another lift.
Another lift, right.
Yeah, I need another one. Didn't have quite long enough to look at it properly there. That's
okay, there we go.
That's colossal, mate.
Right, second 50 of the trip. Absolutely incredible session. We've caught loads, caught big uns, and in what's basically winter. I don't think we can complain too much at how this one's gone.
Nah, mate, this is an incredible venue. Surrounded by mountains, crystal clear, and I didn't anticipate catching this many. And Henry, 250 pounders, mate, once again, smashed it. And that is the end of the series. So Henry, you're on the outro, mate.
I get to sign off the series on your own channel, do I?
With a 50, come on.
Thank you very much everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know me and Jacob have thoroughly enjoyed our trips over to Europe. Doesn't mean it's going to be the end of those sessions. We've got a lot of big trips planned next year, but we're going to do them in sort of a different format. So this is the end of the series. Like I said, thank you for watching and hope you've enjoyed them. Plenty more big carp to come.
Whilst Henry was revelling in all his glory, the carp gods gave me the stroke of luck I was hoping for.
Henry, I'm in! Come on! Would you believe it? Henry! Henry's not won yet. It's not over till the fat lady sings. He doesn't even know I've got one on. He's gone back to get the van. We're literally packing up as we speak. How is about that for timing? Come on, please still be on. There's Henry in his van, look. He's going to turn up and see me doing battle, and he's going to laugh his head off. He thought he'd sneaked a victory off me when I lost that last one. There it is. It's not a bad one, that. Come on. Come on. There we go.
I don't know if you heard that, he just shouted, it's a draw, it's a draw. Acting like he wasn't bothered before. Pardon, Jacob.
I guess it was only fair for a series tie. A perfect ending to what has been a memorable set of trips.